2 to the power of 5. Speaking of which, I got ripped off of viewing the Ring of Fire eclipse where I am due to rainy weather.
Shoobity wop me, oobity wop me, oop-a-doo down.
1 year. Thanks for all the quizzing.
Shoobity wop me, oobity wop me, oop-a-doo down.
44 months. That's a lot of quizzing, and probably way too many dad jokes. Wonder how many I can come up with tonight.
Good evening, and welcome to Game Night on Saturday the 14th of October. Hope you're all keeping well. It's time for the Abyss with the app. Let's stop that bonus right there. So, scan that QR code if you are on a mobile device, or visit that website if you would like to play on a desktop device. This is the way to play the Abyss these days. A bug that was caught. I spent some time with Nata, who encountered this problem in Danger Zone last week. And before I tell you about it, here's a message from our sponsor, Samster.
Hello all and hello Ben. I heard Monday's Only Connect is gonna be a good one, so it's probably worth a watch. Cool.
Is that so? I hear there may be some people that we know on it. Only Connect tomorrow night, 8 PM, BBC Two. Don't miss it. Thank you very much, Samster, for the 41-month subscription. I'll go through thanks and say hellos in a minute, but just to let you know, we found a bug which I've not had a chance to fix yet. If you are playing on the app for the first time and you're playing on a mobile device, you'll need to verify who you are by typing a code into Twitch chat. Ideally, do that on a different window, because if you alt-tab out of the app before you've verified, it will disconnect you from the room, if that makes sense. So once you're in the game proper, it will auto-reconnect you if it loses focus, but I didn't put that catch on pre-validation. So if you're having trouble logging in, if you're stuck on the code screen, that'll be why. Hopefully, all will be well with this. Say a couple of different devices to play for, and if it's the first time you played with the app, it's got better functionality than it had last season. I've stripped out a lot of the bloat, and I'm hoping we're all going to have a good time. Other notes on the Abyss. This is a message from our sponsor, Topple One Gaming.
Excuse me, Ben, whilst I interrupt your speech to let you know I have resubbed for the 30th month. ... Pog.
30th month. Thank you for 30 months. Top of that, 1 month for every year you've been alive. Happy birthday for last week, my dude. And thank you for the 30-month subscription. This is a bit of a mongrel pack. Comes from Mark and Colo and myself. A bit of a combination effort to open up this stream. We'll hopefully have some fun with it. I've made a change to the software in that it will force the easiest question from each pack to be in the first 5. So I remember last time we played, the categories were a bit confusing. I had to explain them. Hopefully the first questions are obvious enough with the category and the question that you can just work them out. But it won't be such a head fuck in the first few seconds of the game. So that, in case you're wondering why they're early questions at the beginning, the rest of it is random, but the first 5 are now the easiest. Let me say hello to everyone. Good evening, Puzzle Dan, Matt the Ref, Arun, Topper, Unfet Shapes, Stilgar, Boyga, Dragon, G. Eisens, Toot, Stimson's Angor, Natter, It's Hotly, Kamikaze, Nando, good evening, BC, and Ape, and Score, and Oni. Hello to Anasep, and Lewis, and Kegler, and Colo. To Jack and Clive, Apodo and Lupine, good evening Innes and OM Dalton, to Daru, Maxio, Wilextures, Samster, and anyone else who is lurking, loitering and lingering in the chat. You are most welcome to be here. Thank you so much for joining for what promises to be an action-packed evening of trivia here at Game Night on this Season 12 stream. As ever, I am still looking for feedback on the app. This is only the second or third time we played it with the Abyss, and I'm aware this is a typey game, so will be interesting to hear if they've made any improvements, whether you're playing on mobile or whether you're playing on desktop. I'm hoping it's a better experience for everyone, because it keeps your question input separate from the main screen. So yeah, look forward to your feedback on it. I've got some thanks to do as well. We've had quite a few subs come in there. We got a little bit of a hype train going on. If I look at my recent events, let's take a look. We have got a Dragon resubscribing for 16 months. Thank you, Dragon. Oni 2 to the 5, subbing for 32 months. Very satisfying. Thank you, Oni, for all the support. Kamikaze 22 minutes ago, 10-month resubscription. You got ripped off viewing the Ring of Fire eclipse around due to rainy weather. Welcome, Kamikaze. Thank you for the support. Stimson's Angle 1 year today, a whole year of quizzing. Thank you for the support. Owen Dalton, thank you for that follow. Matt for 44 months, thank you very much for all the support. Samster in at 41, Topper in at 30. Very grateful to everyone for their support, whichever way you choose to do that, whether through subbing, bitting, or just turning up and playing the games. I'm most grateful to all of you. Thank you for joining. And we owe our congratulations to BC on besting Colo's Battlefront. Colo, thank you very much for that Battlefront pack. A really lovely pack to start our evening off. And very well done to BC for emerging as the champion out the other end. We are going to move on to the Abyss. This is an auto-running game, so hopefully all I have to do is just read the questions. We'll find out if it pans out like that. As you can see from the ticket behind me, we've got Data Leak coming up later on and a retro game of the Purge cobbled together Frankenstein from old packs of mine with the new software. There are some things that might look and feel a bit different, but it is the same game that we know and love under the hood. So, yeah, make sure you stick around for all that's coming up. I'll give you a few more minutes to join this lobby. It's just broke for you, Boyga. In what way is it broke? And Walix, have you joined on the app, or are you trying to type the code in? Because you're trying to type the code into chat, it won't let you in. Yes, it's very old, refreshingly old school. There's a link Matt's just posted there to the app. You can play either in browser or you can download a standalone version. It should work on both mobile and on desktop devices, so whichever you prefer, whichever you'd like to play with. Code on web app. Oh, that's an intermittent thing that I've not been able to nail down exactly what it is. If you try refreshing and joining with a different client, Boyga, it should just refresh you. There's been some issues with some versions of Edge, if you're using Edge. If you're not using Edge, then that's another one that I will need to nail down and see if I can find out what's going on. If in doubt, I just want to blame WebGL, which is not the greatest thing to do. There's Clive coming to join us. Walix, it says you've joined the lobby, which is a good start. Hopefully if you type in a code, you'll get into the game and the app won't crash. Let's find out. Safari, yes, Safari was the other one, sort of Mac-related issues. It's been bumped up my to-do list to make a Mac standalone build for it, which won't have the WebGL issues. So that is on the priority list. Might be for next week, might be for the week after. But if you refresh or you've got I see you're now in Walix. That's great. Boyga, if you try joining with a different client instance, possibly in a different browser. That would be really helpful, actually, guys. I've only got a very old MacBook Pro, so some other Mac devices would be a very handy thing to have. So I'll give you a shout about that. Yes, everyone is tied last. I'll give you one more minute, Boyga, to try and refresh your client to get into this game. Pickled Rick 82 has joined the lobby, so that might be you, Boyga. We'll find out. Is that you, Boyga? No, it's not. That's Pickled Rick. Hello, Pickled Rick. Welcome to the stream. Just in the nick of time. So, lots of quiz to look forward to tonight. Chrome's also just blanked. Not so good. Or I can recommend in the here and now, if you try downloading the standalone client, if you're on a PC, then we'll see. Yeah, Chrome works for me as well, Matt, but it obviously doesn't work for everybody, so that's it might be a Boyga thing. I'm not sure. Are you on a Mac? I'm assuming you're on a Mac. I am trying to iron out, but I am very grateful to everybody for their patience, and I am listening to feedback. And if you want to spend some time with me, possibly in the next couple of days, either tomorrow afternoon or one evening in the week, I'm happy to sit down and do a screen share and see if I can figure stuff out. If you can download the standalone app, that might be a bit more stable for you, and you can join midway through if you like. But we'll see how we get on with this game tonight. Lots of players in. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I think it's 20 on each side, so that's 32 players in. On mobile, okay, so Yeah, mobile, it does work, but it's more finicky than in browsers just because of the processing power available. I'm not going to carry on talking. I am going to begin the game, and let's explain how to play The Abyss. Well, there's a code if you want to join at any time. So, you will face 40 questions across 5 different categories. A reminder, 2 of these have been written by Mark, 2 of them by Colo, and 1 of them by me. Use the crossword clues to help you as spelling matters. After 5 questions, 9 players will be selected to join the Abyss Arena. Inside the arena, wrong answers or abstentions cost you a life. 5 consecutive correct answers earns you an extra life, up to a maximum of 3. If you exhaust your lives, you fall into the Abyss and are out the game, and a player from the wings will replace you. 9 players inside the arena. At the conclusion of question 40, go into the final. That's all there is to it. The more questions you have got correct out of the last 5, the more chance you have of getting into the middle, which is where you want to be. So let's have 40 questions and a clock, please. Good luck to you all. Thank you to Colo and Mark for the contributions to this game, and I hope you like my questions as well. Let's play. And let's hope that nothing crashes. Starting with fine meats, colloquially, bangers, wieners, or dogs. 7 or 8. Clarify that is plural or non-plural. That's sausage. 7 or 8 letters. Mr. Vertigo, welcome to the game. Most players getting that one. Remember, all of those questions will be meat related. Primes, KSI and Logan Paul's hydrating drinks range. 5 letters. All of the questions in this category, all of the answers rather, are primes. A literal sausage question site. Yes, all of the answers in the fine meats category are edible, but not for vegetarians. And all the answers in this category are primes. The answer to that one, just prime. On we go to the next one. Downbeats, Down Under, 1981, 3, 2, 4. Name the artist who had a hit with each of these songs with down in their titles. We come from a land down under. It was Men at Work is what we wanted. Men at Work. Well done if you got that one. 2 more before we bring some players into the Abyss Arena. Countries by monarch. Pope Francis, 7-4 or 7 or 3-7. In this category, we'll name a monarch and you name the country that they rule. Yes, and tonight's stream is sponsored by Sausage. That's the Vatican City. You also accepted Vatican or the Vatican there. Remember, spelling does count. 1 more question. Quite a few people with 4 out of 4. Business in media, the social network, 8 or 3-8. Identify the company from the media production that tells a story about it. Identify the company from the media production that tells a story about it. This is the Social Network, 2010, filmed by David Fincher, was all about Facebook, or The Facebook, also accepted as it was called originally. So, players being brought into the Abyss Arena, starting with Dragon, who got 3 right there. Dinatamol is coming in, guiding 4 right in that opening round. Welcome to the Abyss Arena. Ape J. He Minky, welcome on into the Abyss Arena, first player with 5. Matt comes in with 3. Remember, the more you have right, the more chance you have of getting in, but there's sort of guarantees. 2 comes in with 5 out of 5. Welcome to the Abyss Arena. Otley joins us also with 5 out of 5. There is a very subtly different shade in the wings. You've got a subtly different shade of yellow if you are in the Abyss Arena. Jers joining us with 4. Toppy's coming in with 3. Welcome on into the Abyss Arena. And finally, it's Stimson's Angle with 4. That's how the dice have fallen. Try and stay inside your tube. Let's go on. Businesses in media. Air. 4 letters. Identify the company from the media production that tells a story about it. That would be Nike or Nike. A few players losing a life in the centre there. I still need to dilute the colours because it's still difficult to tell who's on what level. Leader of the Autobots, Primes, 7 and 5. Remember, all of these answers will be primes of some sort. And remember, spelling will count. Optimus Prime is the answer, the Transformer there. Well done if you got that. Moving on. Downbeats, Downtown, 1965, 6-5 or 5. When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. Used in the Season 3, Episode 1 of Lost. That was Petula Clark. Also, Clark accepted. Matt, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. Thank you for playing. To be replaced by Fett, so welcome on in. On we go. King Philippe VI, 5 letters. Identify the country from that monarch. Almost a full sea of green there. That was Spain is what we wanted. Gene Eisen's going for France, not the one, I'm afraid. Quite famously a republic. Fine meats, quickly, avoid 4 letters. And all of the answers are edible, but not for vegetarians. Oh, bloody hell, that's gone down the wrong way. That would be duck! And Dragon and Natty have dropped into the abyss. You're out of the game. Thanks for playing. Mr. Vertigo comes and joins us on a score of 5. And Mantis comes to join us on a score of 6. Lights behind your number in the Abyss Arena indicate how many consecutive answers you have got. If you get 5, you get an extra life. More fine meat. Officially, the Republic of Turkey. With 6 letters. And this will be edible, but not if you are a vegetarian. That is Turkey. The country is Turkey. Whoops, if you missed that one there. Most players getting it right. Let's go on. Primes, title for the head of the government of the UK. 5-8. Oh, you've got to watch your spelling, gang. First Lord of the Treasury and Prime Minister gives us the prime answer. Prime Minister. Currently Rishi Sunak for the next year. Dowbees, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. 1974, 5 and 4. Don't let the sun go down on me. Don't let the sun... I'm afraid John is not going to be accepted on its own. It's Elton John. Simpsons Angle, Toppy, and 8 Minky, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. Yes, you must use the crossword clues. 4 was not an option, it was 5-4. You needed the full name. Apologies if you have got stung by that. Ralph joining us, Inca joining us, and Meringue Boy joining us. And yet you still got in. Likewise, Inca, who I think also got that one wrong, but funny old world. Businesses in media. Steve Jobs, 5 letters. Identify the company from the media production. And what's your spelling? Mr. Vertigo, there's an answer from you. But it's not that one. I'm afraid it's Apple, starring Fassbender, Michael Fassbender, in the film Steve Jobs, all about Apple. Onwards. Countries by monarch. Emperor Naruhito, 5 letters. Which country are they the monarch of? Oh, so it's getting that one. Japan was the answer. Emperor Naruhito, Emperor of Japan. Ollie, 5 right in a row. Very well done, my dude. You're back up to the top flight. 25 questions to go. Find me. It's a downward cutting blow with the hand in karate. 4 letters in this answer. Now remember, it is edible, but not if you're a vegetarian. That would be a chop, like a karate chop. Jers, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. Thank you for playing. Podo, welcome on in, coming to join us. Out of wine, gonna need to get another glass in a minute. All primes, Amazon's video on demand service. 5 and 5. Use those crossword clues, they are important. It's Prime Video. Prime Video, not Prime Media. Bad luck on that one, vets. Prime on its own was not enough. Let's go on. Countries by monarch. Carl the 16th Gustav. 6 letters. Tricky one here. Tricky little one here. I would struggle with this one, but I'm seeing lots of green coming up in my console. It's Sweden. Sweden. Carl 16th Gustav. 5 right in a row for Mantissa. You've got an extra life. You're back up to the top flight. Very well played. We've got a few players on the bottom right. A couple of players there. Fetz, Mr. Vertigo. Let's see if we can get you any higher. Bert's Buzz, 5 and 4. Identify the company from the media production that tells a story about it. Oh, a slightly more obscure one for you, a little bit more rarefied. Burt's Bees is what we wanted. Half the answer was given to you. Fetz and Mr. Vertigo, you have dropped into the abyss. You are out the game. Thank you for playing. BC comes to replace, as does 8J He Minky for the second time. Welcome back to the Abyss Arena. And we'll go on to another question. Downbeats, Get Down on It, 1981, 4334. Get Down on It. Name the artist who had a hit with that song. Get Down on It. No, Kool and the Gang. I was generous with the spelling, except with either a K or a C. Kool and the Gang is what we wanted. After 20 questions, Toot's got 20 correct. We're going to move on to another down question. Burning Down the House, 1983, 7 and 5. I only know the Tom Jones version of that, which is not the answer. Because it's not 7 and 5. Chocobo doesn't know music. Talking Heads is what we wanted. Apodo, Otley, Mantissa, and Inca are all dropping into the Abyss and out the game. Thanks for playing. Matt comes for a second attempt in the Abyss Arena. Welcome back. Pickled Rick is in for a go, currently on 13 of 2. Dragon comes to have a go on 10. And Stilgar, welcome to the Abyss Arena. We're just over halfway through. Let's see if we can stay in the Abyss Arena before the final. Next question. Businesses in media. Blank, the greatest party that never happened. 4, 8, or 8. What is the business or company that was the subject of this film? Fire Festival, I accepted with either a Y or an I because I was feeling generous. And Meringue Boy, you've dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game. Samster gets into the Abyss once in a blue moon. It does happen. Samster, welcome to the Abyss Arena. Find Me's dangerous game involving opposing cars. 7 letters. Remember, all of these answers will be edible, but not for vegetarians. Opsy, I see you have joined the game. You will be brought in at the end of this question. It's just a safety. Likewise, player 2, if you can verify before the end of the question. At least I think you will be. Unless you're just refreshing your account, possibly. Ralph, 5 right in a row. You're getting yourself an extra life. BC's dropped into the Abyss and is out of the game. And Mr. Vertigo comes to rejoin the arena as player 2 joins the game. All of the things happening. Let's go on. 0 degrees longitude, 5 and 8. This answer will be prime. And I'm just noticing, Opsy, you have been in the game from the start, so presumably you were just refreshing your account. That would be the Prime Meridian. Prime Meridian. Most players getting that one right. Remember, spelling will count. On we go. Countries by monarch. King Willem Alexander. 311 or 11 or 7. What's the country that he is monarch of? Bit of a clue in the crossword clues. We were accepting either the Netherlands or Holland, because it's colloquially very often treated the same. Pickled Rick, you've dropped into the Abyss and you're out of the game. And you're replaced by Oni. Welcome to the Abyss Arena. 15 questions to go. Another prime. Helen Mirren plays DCI Jane Tennyson. 5 and 7. Oh, Matt, you're so close. It does fit with the crossword clue, but that is not the one. It's Prime Suspect. Stilgar and Dragon, you've dropped into the Abyss and you are out of the game. Thanks for playing. Puzzle Dan coming to have a go in the Abyss Arena. And to Daru, welcome on in. Let's move on to another question. It's a find me. Move sideways. 4 letters. Remember, this is edible, but not for vegetarians. Oh, don't worry about losing connection there, Pickled Rick. No worries, that's why I have the safeguards for bringing people back in. There'll be a crab. Crab moves sideways. Matt and 8 Minky have both dropped into the Abyss for the second time and are out of the game. Thank you for playing. Nando comes to join the Abyss Arena, as does Shapes. Welcome on in. Let's go on. 13 questions left. No, Strafe was not 4 letters. Mates are killing me. Downbeats, Drag Me Down 2015, 3 and 9. Which band or artist had a hit with Drag Me Down in 2015? No, it's not the Lathburys, 8 Minkies. One Direction is what we wanted there. Well done if you got that one right. Let's go on. Countries by monarch. Grand Duke Henri. 10 letters. Grand Duke Henri. Well done if you got this one. Luxembourg was the answer to Daru, and Ralph, you have dropped into the abyss. And you're out of the game. Thanks for playing. To be replaced by Opsy, welcome on in. And Mantissa on 16 and 20 respectively. 11 questions left. This is immediate. The Founder, 9 letters. Which company or business is the subject of the film The Founder? We watched it a few weeks ago. It was very good. It's McDonald's. Well done if you got that one. Puzzled Dan. Free toast at 3 a.m. And Mr. Vertigo, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. But Toot has got 5 right in a row and reclaims a spot on the top flight. Owen Dalton, welcome to the Abyss Arena. And Inca, welcome back to the Abyss Arena. And finally, Chocobo, who is Scorecount. Welcome on into the Abyss Arena. 10 questions. Final 25%. This is a media again. Cocoa before blank. 6 letters. What is the company or business that this film reflects? It is Chanel. Cocoa before Chanel. Most players getting that one. Very well played. Onwards. Primes, a whole number greater than 1 that cannot be exactly divided by any whole number other than itself and 1. 5 and 6. That'd be a prime number. Prime number. Most players getting that one. Samsa, 5 right in a row. You are back up to the middle rung of your tubule. Very well played. Let's go on. 8 questions left. Downbeats, you need to calm down. 2019, 6, 5 or 5? And it's Sotley is going to be deeply disappointed that he wasn't the first to get Taylor Swift there. You were second, Otley, after Free Toast at 3 a.m, aka Oni, who got in just before you. Taylor Swift was the answer. Countries by monarch. Queen Margaret II. 7 letters. I meant to add earlier on Grand Duke Henri, Luxembourg is the world's only remaining Grand Duchy. And apparently, according to my sources, Denmark, which is currently ruled by Queen Margaret II, is the only country with a reigning queen. Mantissa and Opsy have dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. Ralph has joined and Meringue Boy is back in for another attempt. 6 questions to go. Fine meats, a grudge or argument. 4 letters. Edible but not for vegetarians. That would be beef. You got beef with somebody. Sea of Green in the Abyss Arena. And Shapes getting themselves an extra life back up to the middle flight. Good position to be in with 5 questions to go before the final. Downbeats, Upside Down, 1980, 5, 4 or 4. Player 2, welcome to the stream formally. I've just seen you chat. Welcome on in. Inca go for that. It's not that one, I'm afraid. It is Diana Ross. Chocobo, you've dropped into the abyss and you are out of the game. Thanks for playing. Simpsons Angle come to take your spot with just 4 questions to go. This is a very good position to be in. Now's a good time to get into the Abyss Arena if you can. Fine meats, philosophers Francis and Roger. 5 letters. I don't remember a Francis Sossig or a Roger Sossig, but I do remember a Francis Bacon. Simpsons Angle losing a life on that one. But Samson with 5 right in a row, you are back up to the top flight. Very well played, my dude. 3 to go. Businesses in media, painkillers, 6 or 9. What is the business that is reflected by this? It is more specific than these answers. We're getting a tricky one at the end here. Purdue Pharma would also accepted Purdue or OxyContin. Recent show on Netflix starring Matthew Broderick as Richard Sackler. Inca and Owen Dalton, you've dropped into the abyss and are out of the game. Otley and Stilgar coming to replace you with 2 questions left. At least 3 players on the bottom rung, though. 2022 animated TV series produced by Sega and Netflix. 5-5. This is a prime question, so the answer will have prime in it somewhere. So lots of players go for prime. It's Sonic Prime is what we wanted. Shape, you've dropped into the abyss. You're out of the game. Pickled Rick comes to replace you and guarantees himself a place in the final. Toot has been here from the start. Can he maintain that? Last question. King Vajira Longkorn, aka Rama X. 8 letters. Identify the country from the monarch. It's Thailand and Simpsons Anger. You've dropped into the abyss and are out of the game. Toot stays in from beginning to end and only comes to purloin that final slot in the final. And with that, we have got to the end of round 1. Sick of losing to Purdue. It's a lot better than Painkiller, by the way. Oh, Dope Sick. I quite enjoyed Painkiller. I've not heard of Dope Sick, but I did enjoy Painkiller. Well, I'm going to surface for air. Goodness me, what a blistering opening round that was. 40 questions later, and we have got 9 players ready to take on the final. Otley on 28, Nando on 34, Ralph on 31, Pickled Rick on 19, Toot on 37, Stilgar on 19, Free Toast at 3 a.m. on 33, Meringue Boy on 29, and Samster at 36. That is something of a formidable lineup. But only one of you, and potentially none of you, can emerge as Abyss champions and survivors of the Abyss. Special commendation to Toot, who got in after question 5 and stayed there until the end of question 40, dropping just 3 questions. Special commendation to very well played. But can you emerge as the champion? Let's find out as we look at the rules for the final. You will face up to 10 questions across the same 5 categories. Players in the Abyss have had their lives refreshed. Gameplay is the same as before, except extra lives are no longer awarded, and players who drop into the Abyss will not be replaced. Last player left standing is declared the winner. If no winner has emerged after 10 questions, the winner is the player who's higher up their column. They're apparently officially called columns, not tubes. In the event of a tie, the player with the highest score is declared the winner. Good luck to you all. Basically the same as before. The categories, whereas last time they came in blocks of 5. So you had 5 on every category before you had another 5. They were randomised within those blocks of 5, but you had 1 on every category before they repeated. Here, it is all entirely random, so you could get 2 questions on the same category in at 1 and 2. Tubules, I like that. So it's all luck of the draw. These questions are very often a little bit harder than what's come before, but we have been taking steps to mitigate the final not being all one and done in 4 questions, so hopefully we'll see how we get on. Good luck to you all. 10 more questions. Here's the first. Businesses in media. Blank. The smartest guys in the room. 5 letters. What is the business or company that this film is about? Oh, not a strong start. Just 2 getting that one in the Abyss Arena, and Shapes elsewhere in the wings. Enron. The smartest guys in the room. Downbeat, Down with the Sickness, 2000, 9 letters. Who's the artist who did that? Hello, darkness, my old friend. Disturbed was the answer. Otley, Ralph, and Meringue Boy losing a life in the Abyss Arena. As we go on. Primes, a prime number that is 1 less than a power of 2, 8 and 5. Ah, that's what this is. Spelling will count. Player 2 star 2-2 to prime. Those are Merson primes. Oh, Otley dropping out on a prime number question into the Abyss and out of the game. Merson primes. Fine meats. For example, cricket. Don Bradman, 4 letters. Ollie went for innocent primes on that last one. Merson primes. That would be Goat. They are the Goats. Meringue Boy, Nando, Samster, Stilgar, and Pickle Rick dropping into the abyss and out of the game, leaving only Toot and Ralph. All three on the bottom rung. King Mohammed VI, countries by monarch, 7 letters. It's Morocco. Ralph, you've dropped into the abyss and you're out of the game. Toot and Oni still on that bottom rung. Businesses and media, the Wolf of Wall Street, 8 and 7. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Stratton Oakmont was the name of the company. Oh dear. And the abyss has taken you all. That is niche. It's got to be niche. There weren't that many. No winners this time on Takeshi's cards. What wonderful use of our time. You still get pennies. Pennies are nice, but yeah, we've got the bad ending and the abyss has taken you all. Oh.
What a shame.
What a shame indeed. Thank you, JC Denton. But Toot winning the wings with 40, Samps with 37, Oni with 36. Good efforts all. I need to colour you red at the end when you drop into the abyss. A message from our sponsor, Matt the Ref.
Nobody wins this time on Persephone's Arena.
Nobody wins this time in Persephone's Abyss or Persephone's Arena. You failed miserably. Yeah, the Wolf of Wall Street, Stratton Oakmont was the answer there. Just to clarify, countries by monarch, that came from Mark. Businesses in media, that came from me. Fine meats came from Colo. Downbeats came from Mark, and primes came from Colo. So the businesses in media, which are there were a couple of sausage questions in there. Purdue Farmer and Stratton Oakmont were caught a couple of you out. Well, caught everyone out. Those two, they both came from mine. So I'm covered in. Shame. Yeah, I am. Very many thanks to Mark for providing his packs and to Colo for providing the 2 extra packs and indeed for proofing them all as well. Hugely grateful to you, Colo. You can take your reward now by playing some Data Leak and some Retro Purge a bit later on. So no medals going out in this game, but you do all get some lovely pennies, and your pennies are calculated. For anyone who's interested in keeping track of pennies, you get 10 pennies for every question you got right. So Toot going to pick up 400 pennies from that game. So that's nice. Mr. Vertigo, welcome to the stream. Data Leak, which is coming after the break, after I've filled up my wine glass, is going to be done in Twitch chat. So you can get rid of the app for now, but you will need it later on for the Purge. So back to Twitch chat for Data Leak, and then back to the app for the Purge. Look forward to any feedback you've got on the app. I'm hoping it played better and there were no problems. I know it's a sort of interesting one to type on because I've got the virtual soft keyboard on. Yeah, we've changed season, Jers. We're into a red wine season now. So we're on the 19 crimes tonight. But it doesn't have a bottom. Yes, you are all literally still falling. I mean, I could probably try and find you, actually, if anyone is interested. Let's see. Columns. Ball spawn point. Yeah, you're all still here and still falling. I can't actually show you the ball because it's moving too fast unless I pause the game and then focus. Oops, if I just shifted that out of the way a minute. There is a ball that is still falling, and if you look at the transform, you will see it is now on minus 1,914,713. So the balls are still falling. If I unpause it, you'll see it disappear. Ah, there it goes. So yes, the balls are spawned and continue falling for all time. A sensible programmer would destroy them after a certain amount of time, and that's probably something I should add to the to-do list. Yes, thank you, Topper. I do know. I am aware of how to do it. I just, it's quite funny to say I have been falling for 30 minutes. But yes, I will destroy that. And you can even actually, Topper, just to make it one better, you can actually go destroy ball.game object. You can do it like that, so it will actually destroy it 5 seconds after it's dropped. This is wrong. Oh, good spot, Ardenfett. Yeah, that is wrong. I still haven't updated the perma strap. Thank you very much for pointing that out. I'll fix it now and then forget to fix it later on. But you're absolutely right. That is the wrong address, and I'm hoping nobody went to it because you wouldn't have been able to get into the game. It should actually be itch.io/game night. There we go. And now it is fine. You've noted that in chat, so I'll update that permanently in a bit. No medals this time. I'm afraid the Abyss has taken you all, but I hope you enjoyed the pennies. Thank you again to my co-writers on that and to Kodo for proofing it all. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to take a little break while I get some more wine. Suggest you do the same. Go for stretch your legs, get yourself a drink or some snacks or whatever. If you need to take any meds or anything like that, then do take the opportunity to do that now. We'll be back in about 5 minutes' time with Data Leak. If you're not subscribed, you'll see some adverts, but don't worry because we won't start the next game without you. So sit tight, and we'll be back for Data Leak in a few minutes. Thanks again to our writers, but unfortunately, no winners this time because the Abyss has taken you all. And apologies to our writers because I think I've forgotten to update the credits again, my bad. And an extra 216 pennies if you fancy them right there for typing Purge 216 into the chat. Thank you to Mark and Colo for providing our Abyss questions there. Both of you all can sit back and relax. I know Colo's here. If Mark, if you're here, sit back and relax and enjoy some quiz for the rest of the evening. We have got Data Leak coming up after the break in a pack written by BC and proofed by Lewis, and then later on a retro pack of the Purge in the new software. I do hope you'll stick around and join me for them. But for now, go get yourself a drink, enjoy the adverts and all the music. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. As Kamikaze remarked, it's time to call the data plumbers because we've got a data leak. Welcome back to the second part of this evening's game night where it is data leak time, and if you would like to play, type in this here code. This one is all done in Twitch chat, so all will be well in that regard. Back to the classic setup. This is a game that is going to be rebuilt at some point. It's not a high priority because I feel it sort of works quite well already. I'm just going to widen the screen a minute. There we go. It's not a massive priority. And also when I do update it, it's going to require me to put in a new mode onto the app, which shows pictures. It's also going to have to put in the algorithm, the pixelation algorithm that I use. And the pictures will have to be drawn down from the website, which makes it a bit more of a tricky thing from a writer point of view. But because you're going to have to give me hard links to PNG files, so it's on the long-term map as everything is to get migrated over to the other one. But this is one that is probably lowest priority because again it's quite a fast, typey, quick thinky game, so might benefit from Twitch chat a little bit more than say the app would, but no plans to migrate this. It probably won't be in season 12 to be honest, if it does get migrated at all. So yeah, come join the game, This pack's been written by BC and proofed by Lewis. I have very little idea at all what is coming up tonight. I've had a very cursory glance at it, at the question pack, but nothing more than that. Gold, silver and bronze available for our top 3 players tonight, as well as very many pennies over the course of the game, which are calculated by, he says, 5 times your score. What's the high score in this game normally? It's Mr. Aladdin, sir. Very much that. Demoivra334, welcome to the game and welcome to the stream. Oh, and goodbye again. Thank you for the follow, by the way, here in the week. You're in and now you're out. You come back if you type the code again. Yeah, it's sort of 70-ish, isn't it? Should I bump it to 10 times score? Yeah, entering it twice takes you out. So if you want to come play, Demoivras, type the code again. And remember that in this game you will need to whisper your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. There you are, Demoivra, welcome. Make sure you whisper your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot in this game. Don't type anything in public chat because it won't be processed by the game and is likely to be deleted by a moderator. And if you persist, you will get a nasty little timeout, which we don't want to give, but keeps the game fun for everybody. So get Persephone's Twitch bot at the ready. And we'll begin this game very shortly. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the high scores normally are. Do we normally get close to 100? It doesn't normally get that high, does it? I mean, what's the maximum score? 125? Yeah, low 80s. 10 feels a bit much. Oh, hello, Alex. Are you in and out and shake it all about? I'm doing the okey cokey. Let's 8 times. 8 times your score is what you'll get in pennies. So if you finish with 100, you're going to get 800 pennies. It does depend on the game. Well, Lewis has said he thinks this is more on the easier side than the difficult side. Oh, off to a wedding. We'll have a lovely time, G. Eisens. And a pleasure. No worries about the games. And yes, I will send you a DM. A few virtual machines run different flavors of map. That would be really, really handy. I will bump that up the priority list to do in the next fortnight or so. So anticipate a DM from me and have a lovely time at the wedding, G. Eisens. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you all a bit later on. Right, I'm going to give it till the end of this sting and then we will begin our game. I don't think I need anything. I just need progress gameplay in this one, don't I? I think so. Oh, we're going around again. And PM to the bot, it'll keep up. Yes, it does. Yes, the bot and the chat work in the same way. Although, fun fact, fun story for you all, just while we have the tail end of this this thing. There was almost no stream tonight. I was having an absolute nightmare this morning. So I got up about 8:30 and Megs went to the gym. And the plan was to jump onto the computer and put the last finishing touches on the new software of the Purge, and I had about 6 different things I needed to do for various packs, like proofing and exporting and pulling down and stuff. We'll stop the music right there, and we'll begin the game in just a minute. And none of my builds would load. I would press play on the game, and Unity would just hang. It wouldn't try and load. It would just sit there and not do anything. And I restarted the computer 3 or 4 times, and I tried older games, and then even the Twitch controller, which is the thing that I do the bonus pennies with, even that was hanging on load, and that's a built app, and hasn't been touched for weeks. So I said, what the hell is going on? And so I did a sort of binary search one by one to see what classes are affected, because it was working fine in an empty project. And it turned out it was the Twitch controller, the thing that hooks into Twitch. I thought, okay, that's strange. So Topper had just got up, so he'd just come online on Discord. So I got him on the blog. I said, Topper, are you having, has Twitch Lib just like broken? And he said, no, it's all fine for me. And so I went through the motions and realised it was when it tried to connect to Twitch Lib. It all just broke. So I thought, well, maybe my tokens have expired. So I refreshed my tokens and it still didn't fix it. And then I realised, I did some other testing and tried to join in with panic in his voice this morning was immense. It was not a fun morning. I tried to just join some Twitch streams, and my chat was taking about a minute to connect. You know when it says connecting to chat when you first join a Twitch channel? It was taking about a minute to connect. And so I tried talking, and it didn't work. And then I tried connecting on my phone without the router, and it connected straight away. So ultimately, it boiled down to unplugging the router and replugging the router. It was really weird, because I'd done a speed test, and it said the internet speed was fine. It was really quite distressing. A message from our sponsor, Zeusless.
Ben, I'm sorry I laughed at you that time you got diarrhea at Barnes & Noble. And I'm sorry for telling everyone about it. And I'm sorry for repeating it now.
No, Zeus is quoting Mean Girls, I believe. Zeus, thank you very much for the 32-month subscription and for that lovely image of that time in Barnes & Noble. I appreciate it very much. So yeah, it just required unplugging and replugging the router. But in the process of doing that, I did refresh my OAuth tokens, so I'm hoping they still work. And it looks like they are. And Zeus, welcome to the stream. Just before we get going, is Mrs. Flush, everybody?
Hi! Hello, everyone alright? I actually just came because I'm going down to the kitchen and I wondered if you wanted anything.
Oh, I'm... Okay, if you want to bring up the open bottle of 19 Crimes...
I was going to say, don't ask me to refill that because there's no refilling.
Message from our sponsor, Matt the Ref.
Hi, Meg.
Oh, yeah.
Loved your food superpower post.
Ah, yes, Meg's was posting on Facebook. Her food super. If you could have any food superpower,
actually, I don't know if I could bring the stream into this. Yeah, so any superpower, it can be anything as long as it's to do with food or cooking or eating or anything or drinking. But what superpower would you have? So my one was to have the ability that it doesn't matter how wrong it goes, everything comes out perfect. No matter what, you know, if you just leave it on the boil, if you don't have certain ingredients, if you just do everything wrong, but it still comes out perfect. That was mine. Mine
was to be able to drink as much as you like and never have a hangover. Not to not get drunk, because getting drunk is fun, but to never have a hangover no matter how much you're drunk. That'd be the best superpower.
Yeah. Mini Flush, who came up with this, actually, it was his idea, and he said that no matter what it is, you can eat anything and you won't get sick. This is not a reflection of my ability to cook. Can I just caveat that? So yeah, I've had a few other good ones.
I like Oni. So I have the power of asparagus. Make anyone's pee turn bright yellow using the power of my mind.
There we go.
Non-stick hands will make hands-on cooking so much more satisfying and enjoyable.
There we go.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So give that some thought, and Mrs. Flush will pick the best one at the end, and I will
Never
give...
setting the smoke alarm off. Yeah.
I will give 200 pennies to the one Mrs. Flush deems to be the best, which we will judge at the end of the stream. So think of them for now, and I'll get everyone to type them later on.
Someone's back instantly. This is amazing.
Are you enjoying that? I bought Mrs. Flush a new Marvel Oogie today.
So warm and cozy and comfy.
It's getting into winter season. We're going to play Data League, and perfect timing coming in there at the start of the game. So once we get into the game, we'll get stuck into it. Telepathic food delivery services. I like that.
That's good, Cola. Yeah.
Keep these in mind. I'll have to get you to type them again later on because Mrs. Flush will pick a good one later on. We're going to play. Nice to see you.
We'll have a good game.
We'll try.
We are watching Sleepy Hollow, and I'm going to go and make a drink. I might do hot drink, so if you would like to.
I'm good. I'm good with just the bottle would be amazing. Thank you very much, darling. Okay. Mrs. Flush, everybody. Okay. A quick message from our sponsor there, Mrs. Flush. And on with the game. Round 1 is 5 degrees. You're going to be shown 5 puzzles. Each puzzle has a category and 5 clues. Points decrease every 10 seconds as the next clue is revealed. Incorrect attempts freeze you out for 8 seconds. So keep pressing and guessing. There's no real penalty for being wrong. As soon as you think you know it, get that answer in. Spelling doesn't count on this round. There are a few variants on each one. I think that's all she wrote. That's all there is to it. This pack, a reminder, comes from BC. I'm just going to hide the citation columns and wrap the column with the trivia in it so that I can read it at a glance. And fingers on keyboards. The first puzzle is a scientist. He appeared in 7 episodes of The Big Bang Theory. A lot of 5s in here. For 4, he got his PhD in 1966. And for 3, he's been portrayed by Eddie Redmayne on film. For 2, he lost the ability to speak from motor neuron disease. And for 1 point, his book, A Brief History of Time, has sold over 10 million copies. That is, of course, Professor Stephen Hawking, the late Professor Stephen Hawking. Doctors at one point told him he'd only live another 2 years, but he lived for over 5 decades beyond that point, possibly just to spite them. So you're wrong. What a legend. Stephen Hawking was the answer. A lot of 5 points going out there. Very well played. Let's clear the board and move on to puzzle number 2. We're looking for a war. For 5, this 20th century conflict lasted almost 20 years. Few 5s coming in already. For 4, a lottery was used in the US to determine conscription order. For 3, the war was officially fought between the Communist North and the US-backed South. And for 2, some of the fighting took place in neighbouring countries Cambodia and Laos. Keep pressing and guessing. For a single point, it ended with the liberation of Saigon in 1975. That would be the Vietnam War, also accepted there. Vietnamese War, Vietnam, Second Indochina War, and a few others, and a message from our sponsor, Matt the Ref.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam. Great film starring Robin Williams, 1987? 89? Let's get that all mixed up with Dead Poets Society. Vietnam War was the answer. Well done. If you got some points there, let's clear the board. The author learned about the draft lottery when it was shown in an episode of the family drama This Is Us. Extra trivia for you. And here we go. We've got we've got our glow in the dark. Do you want to kill the lights in a minute? See if it works. Our glow in the dark 19 Crimes bottle. Which is not glowing in the dark.
There's too much light.
There's too much light still. We're going to go on to question number 3. Let's clear the board, which I think we've done because there's nothing on it. And question puzzle number 3. We are looking for a novel. For 5 points, it originally had the subtitle A Fairy Story. It is looking to shoot the moon tonight, now that I've bumped the penny bank. Only player to get 5 points. For 4, it is set on Manor Farm. For 3 points, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Apologies for the leading apostrophe. Or missing leading apostrophe. For 2 points, main characters include Napoleon the Pig and Boxer the Horse. Bear that clue in mind, it might come in useful later on. And for 1, this allegorical tale was written by George Orwell. Animal Farm is what it is. Studied to the joy of thousands of English literature students every year, the book came out of copyright and into the public domain at the start of 2021. That I didn't know. Or I could write some fan fiction. Sad the reasons go twice said to do. To be fair, I read that in school. I did that for GCSE English Lit, and it is the only book I think The only book I studied at school that I've subsequently gone back and read again because I actually enjoyed the book. I like the allegory because it's all about the Russian Revolution, and that was sort of a little bit what my master's degree was about. But I really enjoyed it as a book. I thought it was a good book. Oh, we did that as well. We did Inspector Calls as the Plague. Dylan's doing an Inspector. Dylan's in year 10 now, so he's doing an Inspector Calls at the moment. But yeah, we did Inspector Calls, Animal Farm, and I want to say 12th Night as our Shakespeare. But anyway, Animal Farm. What played if you got that one? BC, Animal Farm, Inspector Calls, Romeo. Maybe we did Romeo and Juliet. BC and I are in fact the same person, confirmed. Moving on, puzzle number 4. We're looking for a country. For 5 points, it has more than one official language. Go on, Inca. 20 out of 20. Oh, he's missed it! He's denied the maximum. Anyone gets the maximum in this game, that is cause for celebration. Someone's got it. Demi Voi's got there. Dimorvway got there for 5, just in time. For 4, it has a population of approximately 11.7 million as of the start of 2023. For 3 points, it is the birthplace of the famous cyclist Eddie Merckx. I think that's how you pronounce that. And for 2, its flag has black, yellow, and red vertical stripes. Oh, is it Merckx? Thank you, chat, for correcting me. It looks like Merckx. Merckx. And for 1, its capital is Brussels, where we get the sprout from. That would be Belgium. That's the way we get Bruges from. Bruges comes from Belgium, or is in Belgium. Also, the birthplace of Audrey Hepburn, apparently. Yeah, more than one official. Like, imagine if Inca carried on with his dominance or that, but he's still getting 3 points down. He's up to 18. You don't get your sprouts? No, I get mine from Tesco's most of the time. Known for its famous spa. It's French PSB and Flemish PSB taken in turns to choose an entry. Is that so? Score never missing an opportunity to drop some quality Eurovision trivia. One more question in this round, and we are looking for, and I would encourage you to type as digits, but you can also answer in words, because it's a number. For 5 points, Lewis Hamilton reached this many F1 Grand Prix wins with victory at Silverstone in 2021. For 4, the atomic number of Einsteinium. Come all the chemistry bods coming in for 4 points. Nice to see Samster among them. For 3, the NHL jersey number of Wayne Gretzky. The number of Nina's red balloons is for 2. I'll just say the answer in German. For 1, soft serve ice cream with a Cadbury flake in it. 99 is the answer we want there. 99 Luftballon. Playing Date League and winning lines broke out. Yeah, suddenly a bit of winning lines making a cameo here. I've got no extra trivia for you there. So that is the end of the puzzle and the end of the round. Let's clear the board and check out the scores. Could you possibly turn it down a smidge? Sorry, thank you. Sorry, telly's next door. They're watching it in our room, and the telly's about that far away from me. So. Bye, Ben. Hi, Ben. Yeah, sorry. I should have probably said I was going next door. But I'm back now. So, Innes with a commendable lead at the start of that round on 22. A run, 22 out of 25. I mean, that's impressive in this game. A run, 2, and Shapes tying for second with 20. It's Sotley, Kolo, Samster, and Tadaru all tying in third with 19. Not a lot in it. And most players in double figures at this point. We're going to move on to round number 2. It's the content filter, very similar to round 1, except the clues tend to be a little bit shorter. You'll be shown 5 puzzles. Each puzzle has a category and 5 objects, events, or characters that feature in the answer. Points decrease every 10 seconds as the next clue is revealed, etc., etc., etc. Exactly the same as before. It's a win for Edinburgh. What is Only Connect? Who knows? Shorter clues. You have got to guess what we are after from the objects, things, or events that connect them. So, without any further ado, we'll go to puzzle number 1 for 5 points, which is a car manufacturer. GT4. Oh, a couple sneaking in there. Very well played, Opsy, Kegler, and Player 2. For 4 points, 250 GTO. Kamikaze's getting in on the action, as is a run now, and a couple of others. For 3, California. And for 2, a Monza SP1. And for a single point, Enzo. Yeah, it's that 1 point clue name for the founder, Enzo Ferrari. They were all Ferraris. Fun fact for you, the first car to be fully designed and built by Enzo Ferrari had the highly catchy name Auto Avio Costruzioni 815. Catchy, I'll never catch on. Never catch on. I've had a cue to sort of stump Inisk. Cars is a fairly reliable bet. This is a meta game. We're writing questions to stump Inisk, who now has to share his lead with a run. Opsy sneaks into second on 23. 3 players still tied with 22 and third. Kodo, Samson and Shapes. Let's clear that board. We'll go on to another one. 1 in 12. We won a month. For 5, World Laughter Day. Oh, Kegler's got there. You'd think there'd be more people with the amount of people we've got. Statistically, there should be at least 2.5 of you. For 4, Geek Pride Day. And for 3, VE Day. A lot of Vibra slap going on still. And for 2, Star Wars Day. The 4th will be with you, always. And for 1, Cinco de Mayo. Oh, what's it, Max? After getting 5 on the last one, you've denied us a sea of green. It's May. May. World Laughter Day is the 25th. Geek Pride Day is the first Sunday in May. VE Day, the 8th of May. Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you, the 4th of May. And Cinco de Mayo is the 5th of May. My reason for Geek Pride Day. What did Stephanie's Twitch bot say for Geek Pride Day? Super cooldown time. Could be after Mr. Carson being bad at cars, son. You got a honk for that. I'm wearing my honk t-shirt, one of my honk t-shirts tonight. Peace was always an option. I've got 2. I've got this one and I've got the Doom one, so they sort of balance quite well. This one, I'm looking forward to this one. Is he playing? I know he played the last game. I can't see him now. He might be, and I've just missed him. Either way, puzzle 3, we're looking for a political party. Layla Moran for 5. I feel I'd know if Jack was here. Have you got a 5 for 4? Vince Cable. And for 3, Joe Swinson. Lol. Remember her? For 2 points, Nick Clegg. Oh, remember him? And for a single point now, Ed Davey. Vince Cable sitting on a table. They're the Lib Dems, the Liberal Democrat Party. All this talk at the moment, it feels like there's a general election on approach in this country. And it's probably the safest bet to unseat the Tories in my constituency. Not that I want to make it political, but I mean, it's just really bad at the moment. I mean, it's just like so bad. It's like really bad, isn't it? Also accepted Lib Dem, or Lib Dems there. Liberal Democrats. Yes, Layla Moran, MP for... Oh, I'm testing me now because I haven't got all the info. Founded in 1988, they formed a coalition government with the Conservatives in 2010. They lost 85% of their seats at the following general election. Mainly the student votes. Who are you and what did you do with Ben? I don't want to make this political. I mean, it's all going quite well tonight. If I make it political, my computer will crash. Just to punish me. Layla Moran is MP over in Oxford direction. Vince Cable, former leader of the party. Joe Swinson, former leader of the party, who famously lost her seat in the 2019 election. Message from our sponsor, Matt the Ref.
This is a party political broadcast by the Game Night Party.
It absolutely is not, but thank you for the 100 bits, Matt. Yeah, Jo Swinson was leader of the party in the 2019 election. She famously lost her seat and therefore leadership of the party. Nick Clegg, who went into coalition with David Cameron in 2010, was leader of the party, and subsequently he lost a lot of his seats in 2015, but not his. He was MP for Sheffield Hallam, and he had to stay on sort of as penance, and then lost his seat to Labour in 2017 and was taken over by someone who then got convicted of drugs. Ash should be able to tell you more about Sheffield Hallam because that's his sort of neck of the woods. I don't know if that's his constituency, but he's up that way and he'll know a bit more about it. And Ed Davey, current leader of the Liberal Democrats. This concludes the party broadcast, the Game Night Political Party broadcast. Dogfish, welcome to the stream. There's still room in the game if you want to come join in, have some trivia fun. Let's clear that board and we'll move on to category puzzle number 4, and we are looking for a preceding word. Blank bear, sporting nickname. Whoa, 8 Minkies! Just in there in like 2 seconds. A lot of people getting this one. Blank coral, restaurant. Blank state, California. Number 2, blank nugget, casino. For 1 point, blank delicious. It's an apple. They're all golden. The golden bear, most majors of any male golf player with 18. The golden bear. And a sea of green, which is nice to see. Do watch out there, Pickled Rick, posting it into the public chat because it won't process it. Make sure it gets into the bot. Let's clear the board and see if that is a... Okay, that must have been a mark on the texture. I was trying to wipe something on my screen. I thought, I've only got 1 dead pixel, and that's over here somewhere. There's not one up there. One more puzzle in this round, and we are looking for a card game. 8 game for 5. Wow. A lot of 5. Strong 5s. For 4, fusion. And for 3, Raz. And for 2, Omaha. And for a single point, Hold'em, or Texas Hold'em. Kusani, welcome to the stream, welcome to the game. Yes, this is a bot game. Go in and grab yourself 1 point there. It's poker, of course it is. So 8 game is a mixed game format. Fusion plays like Hold'em pre-flop and Omaha post-flop. Raz is a variant where you try to get low cards into your hand. Omaha, players have dealt 4 cards each using 2 from their hand and 3 from the board. And Texas Hold'em is the most popular one, and as BC said here, the one you see in all the movies. It's also the subject of the main event in the World Series of Poker. Another sea of green there, which is lovely to see. I'm seeing a couple of players who aren't answering until sort of right at the end. Maybe they want to wait till they're sure. In this game, you can guess as many times as you like. There's just a freeze-out penalty if you're wrong, and then you can come back in. So you're not permanently frozen out if you don't know. So if you've got half a guess, it might be worth doing it earlier. You might be able to bank yourself some more points. That's the end of puzzle number 5 and the end of round 2. Let's clear the board and check out the scores. Innes has got his lead back. On his own, 42. Arun's in second with 41. 2 is in third with 40. Samsa in fourth with 39. Look at that, 42, 41, 40, 39. Lovely spread of scores. We've then got a distinct spread down, 37, 36, 35. 4 on 34. Couple of 33s, couple of 31s, couple of 330s, 229s, 3 28s, 2 26s, a 25, 2 24s, 2 23s, 22, 20, 19, 12, 6 and 1. So, you joined at the end of round 2. You've got 3 more rounds to go, Sadie, so still you could earn as many points as are currently on displayed, plus 25. So there's still 25, 75 points up for grabs in this game. So loads of time, and anything can happen. Absolutely. Well, I think we've all caught our breath. Everyone caught their breath. Let's go on to round 3. It's any other name. You're going to be shown 5 puzzles. Each puzzle has got 5 different descriptions of the same word. Points decrease every 10 seconds as the next clue is revealed, etc, etc, etc. So even if you're not 100% sure, take a guess. You might be right and you could get yourself some big points. Of course, in this round there are no categories because of the nature of the round. There could be 5 different things, but they're all words that can be, and I'll give you 5 different definitions of them, and it will become increasingly more obvious as it goes. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's go on to puzzle number 1. For 5 points. A unit for measuring the size of printed letters. Oni's going to get this. No pressure. Yes, he has. Okay. For 4, can be floating in computing. I'd have been disappointed if you didn't get 5 there, Oni. It's sort of your thing. For 3, use to mark the main directions on a compass. For 2, keeping something concise is getting to the... And for a single point now, awarded for a successful free throw in basketball. You'll also get 1 if you can answer it now. It's point. They are all points. Yeah, floating point in computing is... something you want to ask someone cleverer than me about in more detail on, but I just think of them as decimals. They're not decimals. They're not strictly speaking decimals, but they're sort of like decimals. Something exponent, that'll do. I'll take it. Let's clear the board, and we'll go on to something mantissa, something bit size. I don't know what it is. I know if they get really big, then they start to come out of sync. Sign, exponent, mantissa in binary. Criteria is not to use the puzzle. We're going to get this is more divisive than the Lib Dem discussion. Puzzle 2. For 5, British World War II operation. And for 4, to make a copy of a code repository. More code coming in. Oh, someone surely got to get it here. No one! Wow, for 3, chess tactic in which a piece attacks multiple enemy pieces simultaneously, while it is the first to go green. For 2, split in the road. And for 1, piece of cutlery, usually placed left of the plate. Hey, there we go. You went for the other turn for 4. Ah, bad luck there, Dragon. Yeah, it's a fork. You fork a repository. Wallace took it on 4. You only got 3. It must have come in just after the change there. But a 3 of green, a sea of green for the 3-peat. Indeed. I'm going for clone. Yeah, that's the other one. It didn't fit the first one. There was no Operation Clone in World War II, as far as I'm aware, and it certainly didn't fit with the other ones. A clone in the road. That's something a bit different. Sounds like a good movie. Let's move on. Puzzle number 3. 5 definitions, starting with this one. An assistant, perhaps in a farm or stable, for 5. Oh, branch is a good guess as well, Dragon. Bloody Nora! Everyone going green. For 5. For 4. 4 inches. Oh, you're all far too clever. And for 3, a 5-card combination in poker. More poker coming at you. 5-card combination in poker. For 2, 2 or 3 of them are found on a clock face. And for a single point now, at the ends of your arms. Or a what, Ben? What did I say? Did I say cockface? Or something equally embarrassing. Hand was the answer, incidentally. Yeah, hands are generally used as a measurement for horses. And measure horses. But also... Yeah, you can have that one. Hand was the answer. Lots of green going on there. Lots of big points going out. We'll go on to another one. And we're looking for 5 different definitions. We're looking for the word that fits. Number 4. 2011 Beyonce single. You're going to clip me. Saying face. Oh! BC, you're beating them on the 5. The Dungeons and Dragons group before. Few getting in here. And 3, a group putting forward candidates for election. more politics. And for 2, Jackbox usually releases one of these packs each year. Oh, sorry, Clive. And for a single point, a celebration you might hold for a birthday. Clive, the reason is... Right. That would be a party. They are all parties. Yeah, the reason is I needed you here to sign off on it. So what's happening at the moment? Is the strap too quick? Or is the overlay too quick? I think the overlay is too quick. So I need to speed up the strap. Is that better, Clive? The strap is still a bit fast, isn't it? The top one, let's move that a bit faster. Oh, that's far too fast now. This is important. Oh, that button doesn't work. Stupid app. Is that better, Clive? I think the lower one's a bit quick. We're looking at the ticker, by the way. Clive is upset. Can I make it as fast as possible? That's as fast as it will go. Is that better, Clive? Should we just leave it doing that? No, I'm going to try and get it to match. But I do also want to get on with the game. That looks about right. Oh no, it's too fast still. Fuck it, that'll do. Scroll vertically. Okay. Oh, crap. In a minute. We'll do that in a minute. I want to get on with the game. Party is what we wanted. One more in this here round. If it's super fast, confused the newcomers. They've just stumbled into everything everywhere all at once. One more. For 5 points. A bridge tactic to intentionally lose a trick. Clive. To score 0 while batting in cricket for 4. I've not got the audio, but if my shit joke has scored to the layer, I've got it. It Hundo P has, Clive. For 3 points, to avoid answering a question. For 2, to move your body down. And for 1, an animal that quacks. Hey, B-Me, welcome to the stream. Good to have you with us. Hope you're keeping well. That's a honk, but it's nearly a duck. To evade quickly according to data leak. There's the duck again. Yeah, we saw some ducks earlier on. I was out and about with a friend of Meg's, an old friend of Meg's, and we went to a pond and there were some ducks there. I took a picture and sent it to Topper because I'm sure he appreciated it. Yeah. There's a quack. Yeah, to score 0 while batting in cricket, the term is shortening of the term duck's egg, believed to come from the shape of an egg looking like a 0. So there we go. The round wasn't over. No, it wasn't. It was, sorry, it's just me having a chat with Clive. I can make it go vertically. I'll do that in a minute. But for now, we need to clear the board at the end of round 3 and check out the scores. So, Innes has got a 2-point lead now. My goodness. Oh, no, shit, no. Did I just turn it off? What's that doing? Yeah, I don't want to turn it off. My bad. That's all fine. Can I make it go... I can make it go from the right. There you go. Up. But it doesn't really work because it sort of breaks things. I'll make it come down as well, but I'm going to... Snowflake? Oh, okay, that's a new one. I've not seen that one. That's awful. Picture scroll. Equally awful. Laser. Oh, God. Oh, okay, no, let's not have that. That's making my eyes hurt. Static. Yeah, let's stick with left, I think. Yeah. No, I'm not turning it yellow. That takes surprisingly longer than you might think to set it all back to the nice colours. Yeah, sorry about the seizures there. I did not know what that did. I was just scrolling through the options. I'd never seen that one before. Right. End of round 3. Inca's got the lead with 61. A run in second with 59. 2 and Samster tied in third with 58. Little bit of a gap down to Oni, Lupine and Shapes on 54. Nando's got 53. Colo 51. It's Sotley on 50. Dalton and Topper on 49. Player 2's got 48. Dragon on 47. Kamikaze and Mr. Vertigo and Scorecount and Tadaru all on 45. Mr. Minky and Clive and Optimus have got 43. Apodo's got 41. Velvet Thunder's on 40. Ardenfet's Jers and Stimpson's Angle on 39. Puzzle Dan has 36. Kegler Coach and Matt have 35. Stilgot's got 34. Pickle Rick on 33. Mantissa's on 31. Natter's on 29. Demoivre 334 is on, and Kusania are on 19. Warlick's on 15. And AB Me is yet to score, but he has only just joined the game. Round 4. So, no, it doesn't take ages to turn it yellow. I can turn it all yellow, but then it'd take me ages to set it all back to the different colours. And you don't no one want to stop and watch me go like this on my phone for 2 minutes while I set up my ticker again. It's all good. Round 4, it's the clue chain. You're going to be shown 5 puzzles. Can you repeat the scores, please? I missed no sorries. I'll do them again at the end of the game. Probably not. Each puzzle has a category. Each puzzle has a category of 5 clues with letters correctly being added to each. Basically, it's Wheel of Fortune, except you don't pick the letters. Points decrease every 10 seconds as before. This is the only round where your spelling must be exact. Incorrect attempts will freeze you out for 8 seconds. Exact spelling is required, but still have a guess if you're halfway there. It could be right. Let's go on to puzzle number 1, which is a tree. 7 and 6. For 5. A photo. Who's getting it from the crossword clue? For 4. Oh, I knew we should have bought some port earlier. I'm going to have to open another bottle of wine. For 3. And for 2. Just say what you see now. And for 1, remember spelling counts. That would be a Weeping Willow. Most of us getting that. I hope number 5 is long enough not to break the game. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Number 2, a Derping Willow. Derping Willow. Number 2, it's a song, 36523. For 5. Ooh, no one going there. For 4. Nando's first in, followed quickly by 8 Minky. Scorecount and AB Me also getting in. For 3 points now. Big help there on number 3. For 2. And for 1. The winner fakes it all. The winner takes it all. What a banger that is. I don't want to talk. And another sea of green. I played all my cards. Penultimate UK number 1, presumably for ABBA. It wasn't the penultimate ever. There have been other ones since. But yes, ABBA, their penultimate UK number 1. I beg your pardon, BC. The last one being... Oh, I didn't say it. Bonus 50 pennies to anyone who can tell me what ABBA's last UK number 1 was. First one to say it. Quiz within a quiz. Not one of us, not I do, not thank you for the music. A run gets there. You don't get marks for spelling, but you do get 50 bonus pennies for identifying. Super Trooper was their last one. Did I say it? If I said it, then I won't be able to give you 50 pennies. But oh no, I scroll on this one, don't I? I don't have a typey box. Super Trooper was the answer. A run. Yeah, I have 50 bonus pennies, because I is generous. And resist making the glass go fag. Yeah, Super Trooper was their last one, and let's clear the board and go on back to the quiz. Not within a quiz, but is just a quiz. Number 3, we are after a TV personality, 7 and 6. For 5. Oh, that's very generous. That's very generous for 5. Algorithm is very generous for 5. And now for 4. For 3. And for 2. Is it going to do the thing on number 1? No, it's not quite giving you the answer. Patrick Keelty. Patrick Keelty, maybe. Or maybe Patrick Keelty, the newest host of the Late Late Show in Ireland. That's all right, Solly, don't worry, it happens to us all. This is why we need apps. Bespoke apps for this. Yeah, Patrick Keelty was the answer. Most players getting that one. Let's clear the board. Oh, I like this one. Puzzle 4. We're after a body part, 5 and 9. For 5. To reach the point in the stream where I'm getting the hiccups. Oh, Samster was first in there. Only Fets and Lupine not far behind, also for 5. For 4 now. And 3. A few more coming in here for 3. And 2. And for a single point. It's leaving out all the vowels. The right ventricle. Possibly ventricle. It's the right ventricle, one of the 4 chambers of the heart, the others being the left ventricle, the right aorta, and the left aorta, if my GCSE biology serves me well. Not to be confused with the wrong ventricle, no indeed. We've got one more in this round, and I'm hoping it's not too short to crash. It should compensate. I think the build is clever enough to compensate for it, although it's, what, 2 years old now? 18 months, 2 years old? We'll find out! Number 5! We're looking for a musical with 4 and 6. For 5. Lots in for 5. For 4. And for 3. All the S's. That is now, I think, all of the S's. Puzzle Dan got a music quiz. Fuck's sake! That would work. For 2. Oh, the algorithm seems to have managed, he says, with confidence. Yep. Piss Saigon. Could be Piss Saigon. Making its second appearance tonight, Miss Saigon, telling the tale of a romance during the Vietnam War. It had an original run on Broadway between 1991 and 2001. And harking back to the Vietnam War. For dinner today, and where can I get some? Oh, Piss Saigon. Mark Seeger. It's a name you might have seen in the credits. One of our dearly beloved community. Fitted in for the 5 point. I don't think was the right answer. That's the end of the round. Let's clear the board. Check up scores. Innes still with the lead. 81. 2 points clear. I remember I've times it by 8. So big penny payouts going in this tonight. Arun and Samster are tied in second with 79. Oni's in third with 77. Lupine just behind 76. Nando and 2 just behind a 75. Shapes just behind on 74. Then a gap down to Topper, who's on 69. Nice. But there's one more round. 25 points still available. Let's see what happens as we go. 69, I went, yeah, if you do nothing for the rest of the round, Topper, maybe. Or the rest of the quiz. Let's take a look at round number 5. It's all a blur. You're going to be shown 5 pictures. Each picture has a category. The picture will gradually come into sharper focus. Points decrease every 10 seconds. Incorrect answer freeze you out for 8 seconds. Spelling doesn't have to be exact anymore, but the picture's going to come into focus. There's a few variants on some of these. At the 2-point clue mark, the 2-point mark, you will get a cryptic clue to help you out towards the answer if you are not quite getting there just yet. So, gold, silver and bronze available at the moment. Arun and Samster in silver, Oni in bronze. Innis is in the lead with gold. Can he hang on to it? Let's find out. This picture will gradually come. Well, yeah, it will. Tam Chandani Dyer. Puzzle 1. A video game or series for 5. No way! Oh, you clever, clever people, for 4. I don't even know what it is, and I've seen the answer. I can see it now. For 3. And for 2, the eponymous, thank you for making me autocorrect their BC character. It's called Tetra in this instalment through the character, though the character here is sometimes mistaken for them. And for 1. Apparently that's something called the Wind Waker, which I must confess I've never heard of. So all the pings, I thought this was going to be tricky. Apparently I'm just out of the loop on video games. Link, pause the final battle with Ganondorf. There's a guy in the green tunic with Elfie. It's also BC. We're playing metagames because BC wrote it. He does look like Link from the Legend of that game, Legend of Zelda, which I've also never played. I've never played a Legend of Zelda game in my life, which I know is an eternal shame to me. Let's clear the board. On we go. Number 2. Numbers required here. Bash, welcome to the stream. You've come in to scorn me. Looks like he does look like. Is it him? I don't know. It might be. Oh yeah, I've just looked at the rest of the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Oh, it is a Legend of Zelda game. That'd be why. I just saw the Wind Waker. I didn't even look at the rest of the art. I didn't prove this back. I'm sorry. I'm covered in
Shame.
Yeah, it's so over my head. Gotta go fast in this game. I love how Ash has broken his Twitch silence on this stream to come and pour scorn on me for not recognising his profile picture. We're going to go on. We're going to move on rapidly to puzzle number 2, which is a year, digits only. For 5. Nando making up for the last one by being the first in and not wasting any time. For 4. Ash, no, never even heard of him at Salt Lake. Don't know who he is. For 3. And 2. A nice leap for mankind. And for 1. 4 digits are needed for this, I should qualify. 1969, yeah, man landed on the moon. And a message from husband to Matheref.
Who the hell is Ashley? Bash, 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 bash.
Bash, 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 bash. That doesn't really work. That's Alice. Who the fuck is Alice? Thank you for the 100 bits there, Matheref. 1969 was the year. A nice leap for mankind. 3 questions to go in the game. Inca still with a 2-point lead, and Samson now with a 2-point lead over Arun and Oni. Currently in bronze position. We'll go on to puzzle number 3. We're looking for a food. For 5. The sun has since bleached that flag white, so now France owns the moon. Oh, very good, Owen Dalton. For 4. Oh, I like that a lot. Oni's the first in for 4. Pickled Rick also getting in for 4. Shapes is in as well for 3 now. for 2, a dish fit for a ballerina. And for a single point. Now it's a pavlova. Famously, I think we tend to pronounce it pavlova. I certainly did growing up, pavlova. But it's pavlova, named for the ballerina, the Russian ballerina, and invented in Australia, if memory serves. I think it was invented in, or am I thinking of the Melba? There's something about Australia and something about Russia. It's a Russian ballerina, but was invented in Australia. Rings a bell. It's not floating on anything. They do that on Strictly. But bangers and mash. It could have been. Red bangers and mash. Read the trivia. Oh, is there trivia? I have no trivia. I just have sent to inbox separately for the picture. BC is going to provide us with some trivia in the chat, if Mr. Vertigo doesn't beat him to it. Peach Melba's the Aussie one, named after Nelly Melba. I'm sure there's some connection between Australia and Pavlova. But I don't have the... White named after Russian ballerina. There we go. Anna Pavlova is believed to have been first created in Australia. I was right! Yes! I'm giving myself a honk for that. Moving on. 2 puzzles left. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Innes in gold position. Oni and Samsa in silver. Arun and Toot now tied in bronze. 2 to go. Here's number 4. We're looking for a logo. Or a manufacturer from a logo, I suppose. For 4. It's going to be the first player to break 100 in this game. I don't think it's happened before. For 3, it is sort of kind of written there now. Depending what resolution you're watching on. A different luxury Italian car manufacturer to earlier. Plus Snake. Come on, Warlix, make it a C agree. It is Alfa Romeo, as it says around the edge of the badge. Yeah, different luxury car manufacturer from Ferrari that was mentioned earlier. I think Innes might be the first player to break 100. I don't think we've seen 100 before. Have we seen 100 in this game? We might be about to. I mean, there's only 125 points available, so this is a commendable performance. But there's still a battle on. There's still 5 points available here, and so it is anyone's game between Innes and Arun to get into the top spot. Could potentially be shared if Innes goes for 0. Good luck! Final picture of the game is a landmark. For 5. Oni is the first player to break 100 in this game. For 4. For 3. Oh, Innes with 5 seconds to spare. Does manage to take that gold, and Samsonac confirming the bronze. For 2, the Irish author took this photo of this massive location. Oh, quality banter in the chat. For a single point now. Given where you are in the world, Inca, I'd have been sad if you didn't get this one. That is the Giant's Causeway. Oh, well, Oni, you didn't get the gold, but you did get the honour of being the first person to clear 100 in Data Leak. Innes being the second. He won the game, but was the second. So, who's history going to remember? I've never been over the Irish Sea, actually. I probably should, because I've got Irish heritage. My grandfather's Irish. And although he's lived here since he was like in his 20s and still talks with a very, very thick Irish accent. And hexagonal, and hexagons are the bestagons, which is great. That is the end of the puzzle, the end of the round, and the end of the quiz. So let's clear the board and check out the final scores. It's a big game of blockbusters. Giant's Causeway was based on Royal Flush's The Hive. True story, Topper. So, at the end of all that, we've got 3 clear medalists. Samsa taking the bronze with 99, Oni taking the silver with 101, and the first player to clear 100 in this game. And Innes is our champion, getting the gold medal with 102. What a score. And huge thanks as well to BC for writing this pack, and to Lewis for proving it. Very grateful to you both. You'll get your penny rewards. In fact, I'm going to boost the author pennies from what they are, because in line with inflation, and this is quite a time-consuming game to write for, so I'm going to give you half the max score given. 400 pennies for writing for this game, BC. And times your score by 8, and that is the pennies that you are going to take away that will be credited, I'm hoping, if it updates as it should do, credited to your account when the credits roll in just a minute. And gold, silver and bronze go to Innes, Oni and Samsa. Very well played to you all, and thank you all very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, times your score by 8. So Apodo's got a nice easy job there, 640 pennies to you, and the rest of it you might have to use a calculator, because 8's a really obnoxious number to have to multiply, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. Great pack, and I like the fact Lewis said to me he thought it was slightly on the easier side, and actually I don't hate that about it, because actually sometimes it's fun just to know stuff and to have a high scoring game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So very, very grateful to BC for that pack, and I do hope everybody had fun. Right, it is 10 past 10, which is where the stream was originally going to finish, but I've got new Purge software and a retro pack of the Purge. I invite everybody to come and play it. For this next game, you will need the app, which you can go and get right there. Either play it in browser or on mobile, or download the standalone version of it. Looking for feedback on specifically looking for feedback on the new build of the Purge rather than feedback on the app. But if you want to give feedback on the app as well, that's fine. But if you are giving feedback into the Discord, which you should go and do right there, by the way, come and join if you're not a member, do sort of delineate whether you're feeding back on app or Purge or whatever else it is into the suggestions section, if you please. I will caveat this game by saying it might look as though it has radically changed, but I'm just testing stuff out in terms of how many options you get for each question. I'll explain that a bit more as and when they come up, so it makes a bit more sense. We are probably going to stick moving forward to the convention. This is more of a test stream. Test stuff, yeah, I suppose it's a stuff stream. It's more of a test than anything else, so don't be alarmed. It probably, moving forwards, is going to keep the conventional format, but it's been a while. Oh, well, all of 2 weeks since I relaunched Danger Zone. So please do come and play this game. I really hope you can come and join us. It should be a lot of fun. Very many thanks to Alex, Blockworker, who gave me some pointers on some of the link code I was doing in this. As ever to Ash for the headless controller, which runs the universal controller, and a few other people as well who I've probably forgotten about. But I'm looking forward to playing this. I've been looking forward to it all day. I just about got it finished. It is all working, functioning. There are 2 things I think that you might comment on. Number 1, there is nowhere at any point it tells you what question number you are on. This is by design, but I'm curious as to whether or not you think it should stay, because it's sort of irrelevant. It says at the very beginning, but not on the question strap, either on the app or on the broadcast screen. So that's just something to bear in mind. It is noted on the Trello board. And I've closed my Trello board down, so I can't tell you anything else that was already on there. Oh yeah, if we get the bad ending, it's on there to implement. If everyone gets purged before the final, then we have a bad ending. I haven't implemented it yet. The game will crash. We'll go to the final with no players, and then the game will crash. So hopefully that won't happen. There's one other thing that I can't remember, but oh yeah, that's a good idea, Kodo. I'm going to go get another glass of wine. I suggest you go get a drink, stretch your legs. Once again, I'm going to play some adverts while we go for a break, but we won't start the next game without you. So thank you again to BC for writing that pack of Data Leak. Thank you to Lewis for proofing. Thank you to all of you for playing. Congratulations to Innes on getting the gold. And I will see you in a few minutes' time for the new version of The Purge. Stay there. We'll be back in a minute. So thanks again to BC there. I'm going to go open another bottle of wine. Go stretch your legs. I'll play some adverts, but we won't start the next game without you. There is a bonus for you. Leaky 369. If you would like some bonus pennies, do type that into the chat now. When we come back, we'll be playing the new edition of the Purge. Adverts, but we won't start without you. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the third and final part of this evening's game night. It's time for the Purge in the new software, and I'm very glad that the titles have synced with the music. You need the app for this one. Scan the QR code. If you've got it open from earlier on, then even better. Mantissa, Opsy, welcome to the stream. Okay, I'm nervous about this, as I always am. Okay, at the head of the game, checking myself. First of all, it's the Purge, so I should be standing. I'll have the lights off. I'm not going to stand for one very simple reason, and that is that my headphones have died, hence this rather ugly cable. Sitting over the front of my mouth at the moment. I wondered why the music had stopped, and it's because I left them on when we went out for a dog walk earlier on, which was really, really stupid of me. Yeah. So I'm going to break with tradition and sit for the Purge. Okay, so number one. This is a test software version. This has not been tested with live players at all. Usually before I do a test build, I will do one in mine or Ash's server. I have not done that with this. This is just me off my own steam. So if things go wrong, I beg your pardon, and I will fix them before next time. However, if you do encounter things, please do let me know in the Discord server. A really tall wall, that's exactly what's going on. In the suggestions channel, if you please. Second, these are recycled questions from 5 different packs of mine from the past. So all of these questions have been seen on stream at some point in the past, but not recently. I have done a cursory sweep to check that they are all still accurate, but if something sneaks through, again, I beg your pardon on that. Third, I'm very aware I have got Discord open there. I'm going to check myself and try not to look at suggestions as they come in. And I've just switched over to the admin chat. I'm going to check myself. I will feed back directly to any suggestions that go in over the course of the game at the end of the stream. I want the game just to play out as it should do and not look at suggestions as they come in and interrupt the flow of the game. For those interested, yes, this is the same studio as Buzz Off. It's the same lecture theatre, as it were. There's 3 things that I have checked, or I've sort of clocked with myself, that are on the Trello board with question marks by them. Number 1, there is no readout of what question number you are on. That's sort of by design, but I'm interested to know whether you think there should be. Number 2, there's no readout of the number of players in the game at any time. I think that would be useful up in the top left-hand corner if for me, if nothing else. Silver Electron, welcome to the stream, and welcome to the family. Great to have you with us. There's a couple of other things as well. There may be where it's still showing like the answer from the last question, even though it's moved on from some time ago. On your devices, those are little things that don't require much tweaking. Generally, I'm looking from you. Does it still give you the feel of the original game? Which it should, because it's the same format, just with new software and prettier lights. The Purge meter is not in permanent view as it was in the permanent game, as is obvious because we are focused on the audience, and we've got this lower third strap down here. I can hover over you to show your name, Ralph. See there, because you've got shorter names and I've got auto sizing on. But hopefully you won't change position, so once you've clocked where you are, you won't move from there. I'm not totally sold on the general question font. I might need to tweak it, but if you are giving feedback, please be kind, because I'm sensitive. One thing I will add that is a marked improvement: every player should now answer every question. If you are not in a Purge, answer it anyway, because the pennies are calculated based on how many questions you get right. So everybody has the opportunity to answer every question, and that includes the final as well. So every player answers every question. That's very important. The lights on the Purge meter, when we get there, I am not totally sold on them myself. They're very similar to these audience lights, which have got some really cool animations as they go up and down, but you can't see because of the lower third. I'm not sold on them. I welcome your feedback. I don't think they work, but I haven't quite nixed them just yet. So, final thing. It has got anytime entry, but if you join late, you can only you play from an eliminated point of view. So after you're eliminated, continue answering every question. There is no feedback on your device when you're eliminated. You'll need to watch the broadcast. It's something I'm going to add. So if you join late, you will be able to play, but you won't get a seat and you will be eliminated from the start, but you can still get pennies. In this game, pennies are 25 for every question you get right, and that applies to both Purge, Final, and Main Game. Not tiebreak. But every other question you answer correctly, you get 25 pennies. There is a Purge champion. There is no lobby medalist for this game. There is just the winner at the end, which is consistent with the previous software. And we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We've got 30 players, which is very gratifying. So thank you all very much for sticking around. I'm very grateful to you. I hope it plays out well. I hope you enjoy the change in the software. I hope the app works for you. Let's play. There's the perma-room code if you need it. Here is how to play. Answer the multiple choice questions. If the group fails to stay under the breakpoint, a purge is triggered, in which all incorrect and abstaining players must partake. Again, underlining the answer every question maxim. If a player answers the purge question correctly, they rejoin the game. If not, they are eliminated. This is different. Play continues until 16 questions have been answered, 5 purges have taken place, or 6 or fewer players remain, whichever occurs first. The surviving players move on to the final purge. Now that is not a change to the format. That is the game adapting dynamically to the number of questions in the pack. So I have got 16 questions in the main game. I've got 5 purge questions, and I've got 5 final questions. Normally there's 4 final questions and 20 main game. The game adapts to whatever size of purge, much like with Danger Zone. You can adapt it to fit your audience as best you like. Whichever one of those criteria is triggered first will trigger the final. Okay? And one other thing I will add, just so you're not caught off guard, I can move the goalposts of my perfect purge. I absolutely can. So every pack is now a perfect purge pack. One final thing. Conventionally, we had 20 questions, and every 5 questions, the number of options increased. For this game, there are different numbers of options for every question. I've tried to still rake the pack so that there is an increased difficulty curve. So they'll start easy and get harder, but it's not you just start with 2 and end with 5. They're random, and that again is consistent with, that is now a fact of this game. So you can do that. You can do the classic format by all means, 5 with 2, 5 with 3, 5 with 4, 5 with 5, or you can do it however you like. It does add just a bit more variety to the game. That's a bug, someone catch that. I shouldn't be able to see the names through this mesh. That's just order in layer that I need to change on the chair prefabs. I'm not going to look at suggestions. If someone could write that down, and then I don't know how many people are writing, because at the moment no one's written anything, but I shouldn't be able to see those names through the instruction strap. Okay, well, that's all the preamble done. Please be kind, and we're just going to play the game as we always do. Starting with the tiebreaker. As ever, this is a numerical question. Give me an integer. You want to get as close to the number as possible. We won't show you what you put, but however far away you are, That will be the tiebreaker if we need it towards the end game. Here's the first question. When its West End production closed in 2002, for how many performances had Starlight Express run? And if you don't answer, you are given int.max value, which is bad. The correct answer, 7,409. There's the Purge meter. Just glancing down the answers that came in, somebody was 591 away, which I think was the closest. So if that comes into contention later on, and I beg your pardon, someone was 368 away. In fact, 2 people were 591 away. 1 person 368 away. So that could bode well for you. There is the Purge meter. The breakpoint is starting as it always does at 50%. Again, if you want to proffer feedback on this, the Purge meter can now start at any number. It can decrease after each question by any number, and it can reset by any value, by any increase. So it's at the moment it's set to the default. It'll lower by 10%, and when it resets, it'll add 10%. But it can do 5%. It can do 3%. It can do whatever you want it to do. So that may, and it can start wherever you like it to as well. So just adds another dynamic to the game. But that's a Purge meter, and the breakpoint has been set at 50%. So we start with question number 1. I'd like 25 pennies. This is purely for testing purposes, but if you'd like 25 free pennies, click the button saying I'd like 25 pennies. Time. 10 seconds to get your answer in on the main game questions. Correct answer, I'd like 25 pennies. I just wanted to see if I could do a single answer, a single answer strap, because I hadn't actually tested that. To be fair, I did test it before I ran it, but not properly. How many got it wrong? Start the meter. Those are the lights I was talking about. You have avoided a purge. 28 players grabbing 25 pennies for free. Just 2 players, 7% getting it wrong. You have avoided a purge, and we will lower that breakpoint, dropping to 40% as we go on through the next question. They're not all that easy. Next question. Options are Friday, Wednesday. What is the name of the daughter in the Addams Family? Time. I feel like we're not seeing the light pan come down because the lower third's in the way. That's really upsetting. Correct answer, Wednesday. Wednesday Addams. Breakpoint is 40%. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Just 1. 1 player going for Friday, everybody else going for the correct answer. Nobody abstained on that question. I'm aware it doesn't show the abstention number on the strap anymore, but there were no abstentions there. We move on and we lower the breakpoint. 30%. Next question. Options are Antony and Cleopatra. That should be Romeo and Juliet. Hamlet. The song Maria featured in Bernstein's West Side Story, a modern retelling of which Shakespearean tragedy? Time. Apologies for that typo. Correct answer was Rome and Juliet, or indeed Romeo and Juliet. The breakpoint is 30%. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Just 1 go for Antony and Cleopatra. 97%, 29 players were correct. Incidentally, those lights that are coming down on the Purge meter, those are the lights I'm talking about that I'm not quite sold on yet. I don't think they're necessary, as fun as they are. Let's move on. Lower the breakpoint to 20%. One change that I have made to the game, you now have to exceed the breakpoint. If you hit exactly 20%, it doesn't trigger a purge. You have to go over the break, even if it's by 0.01%. If you hit it exactly, it won't trigger a purge, just so you're aware. And also, if everyone gets it right and the breakpoint is 0%, it won't trigger a purge until at least 1 player gets it wrong. On we go. Next question. Options are something blue, something borrowed, something gifted, something old. According to the adage, which of these is it not traditional for a bride to wear at her wedding? Correct answer. Something gifted. The adage goes something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Again, just one player going for something blue. Everyone else getting the correct answer, 97%, and we are well under that breakpoint of 20%, but we're going to lower it again, down to 10%. 10% or more of you are wrong, or more than 10% of you are wrong. We are going into Purge number 1. Next question, options are trumpet, piano. Dizzy Gillespie was a jazz musician famous for playing which instrument? Time. Correct answer. Trumpeter. Famously, Dizzy Gillespie was the one who used to puff out their cheeks. This is puffing out your cheeks when they played, something you're told not to do when you first learn the trumpet. How many players are wrong? Start the meter. You have triggered a purge. 20% of you were wrong. Nobody abstained, but 6 players going for piano, 24 going for trumpet, and we have triggered our first purge. I have to say, I quite like not saying question number X, because it's sort of irrelevant in this game. And also, for the first time, until I press the button to start the meter, I genuinely don't know what the percentages are. It debugs whether you're right or wrong coming in, and sometimes it's really obvious. If the breakpoint is 10% and like 7 or 8 players are wrong, it's obvious. But I don't know until I press the button what the percentages are going to be. So it's a little bit of excitement for me. But we have hit that breakpoint. We've gone through it. And if you were wrong on that question, you're going to go red. AB Meeb, Retro Ref, OM Dalton, Derp Doug, Chocobo, and Silver Electron. You are all in this purge question. Everyone can answer it, and this is not a multiple choice question. This is a full answer question. There is a spell checker I can override, but do give me something, otherwise you will be eliminated. 20 seconds to answer. Here is your first purge question. Which comedian and personality hosted the first 13 series of the BBC comedy panel show QI? Everybody answer, and we have all gone grey, which means all of our players in the purge have answered. And there's time. Correct answer, Stephen Fry. If you were in the purge and you got this right, you'll go blue. If not, you'll go red, and it will tell us what you said. Who was right, who was wrong? Look at that. No speech bubbles and no red, which means all of the players in that purge, again anonymized apart from the blue and your picture, it doesn't actually show your name. All of you are right, which means you all get to rejoin the game. Lovely stuff. We still get the elimination noise, which I should probably nix. The breakpoint has been reset to 60%, so it's going back up. A lot more breathing room. We don't need to look at that meter. The meter just gives pressure. Just answer the questions to the best of your ability. I like that. So, everyone survives and gets to come back. Next question. Options are tangent, sine, cosine. What value is equal to the adjacent side of a triangle over the hypotenuse? Time. Derp Derg, your answer did come in after the debug. Bang on 10 seconds. It should still count as correct. Maybe a bit weird at your end if there was a race to send you a payload. Correct answer was cosine. The breakpoint is 60%. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Quite a few. Halfway there. We avoid a purge. 43% were incorrect. 3 players abstained, so 10% of you abstained, but 17 going for cosine, 8 for tangent, and 2 for sine. We survive. And we go on and lower the breakpoint to 50%. Next question, options are twirl, twister, spotted dick. Which of these British sweet treats is usually coldest? time. Correct answer was Twister. It's an ice cream. Twirl is a chocolate bar. Spotted Dick is a warm suet cake with raisins, usually served with custard. How many were wrong? Start the meter. %33% getting it wrong, 67% going for Twister, 7 for Twirl, 23%. No one going for Spotted Dick, and 3 abstentions on that question. That's 10%. That does count for a lot, especially as that breakpoint comes down. But for now, we go on. Breakpoint lowered to 40%. Next question. Options are: Merry Christmas, Homer Simpson. Simpsons roasting on an open fire. A Merry Simpsons Christmas. The first episode of The Simpsons aired on December 17th, 1989. What was the title? Time. Spare yourself typing Tracy Ullman Show 1987, first official episode of The Simpsons is what we're after. And it was called Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. How many were wrong? Breakpoint is 40%. Start the meter. Ooh. We've triggered a purge. Okay, despite saying it would only be on exceeding a purge, I clearly need to look into that, because apparently 40% of you are wrong and it's triggered a purge. So much so that the floor... Actually, no, that's a visual bug. At 40%, it should go red. That probably shouldn't have triggered a purge by my logic, but maybe it was just over 1%. Let me do the sums. 18 is exactly 60%. 10% go for Merry Christmas, Homer Simpson. 20% for A Merry Simpsons Christmas, and 10% 3 players abstained. Yeah, I'll call it, I think, for what it's worth, I think it's genuinely a rounding error. Both on the floor meter, although I was aware at 40%, if the purge is triggered at 40%, it tends not to colour that bar, and I don't know why. It's only at 40%, all the others are fine. But for what it's worth, we have hit 40%, and so we are going to a purge. That's what the game has said. And if you were wrong or abstained on that question, you are going into the purge. There are 30 totally. Quite a few. AB Me, Retro Ref, Stilgar, Cassini, Popper1, Ape JB Mki, Pickled Rick 82, Puzzle Dan, Opsy, Cola, Kegler Coach, and Natter. You are all in this purge. Full answer required. If you were wrong, you are eliminated from the game. Everyone answered the question because it's still worth bonus pennies. Good luck. 20 seconds. Here it is. In golf, a shot 3 under par is also known as which large bird? Time. The correct answer was an albatross. For everyone saying eagle, I believe that's 2 under par. I can't remember what 1 under par is. 1 over par is a bogey. Someone in the chat's going to tell me any second now. Birdie, of course it's. Okay, it's birdie, yeah. But bogey is 1 over, birdie is 1 under, eagle is 2 under, albatross is 3 under. Birdie, eagle, a condor, that's 4 under. Thank you, Dalton. That's the one I can remember. Condor is 4. If you were right and in the purge, if you weren't in the purge, you'll stay grey. If you were in the purge and were right, you'll go blue. If you were wrong and in the purge, you will go red. Okay. Eagle from Stilgar, not the right answer. No answer from Pickled Rick. No answer from 8 Minky. Phonetically plausible Puzzle Dan, I will allow albatross and allow you to stay in the game. Because I can do that. Sportsy, welcome to the stream. You need the app for this one, my dude. Oh, you've got the app. I see. You validated your account. You won't get a chair, but you will get the questions. You'll be able to play along for pennies. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're keeping well. Great to have you here. Sorry, you're trying to join the game, but that's not the code. But welcome on in, it's Sports. You won't get a chair, but you will get some questions, so welcome on in. Unfortunately, the first purges of the new software, 8 Minky, Stilgar, and Pickled Rick. Thank you for playing, but it's a wrong answer at the wrong time. And you've been purged. Breakpoint is reset to 70%. I have no idea where we are in the game. I've no idea how many questions we've got. It said 16 at the beginning. I love this sort of tension of it. The breakpoint is now 70%. Let's go on to the next question. Options are James A. Garfield, William McKinley, John F. Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln. Jack Ruby shot and killed the assassin of which US president? Time. It was John F. Kennedy. Jack Ruby, he shot and killed. Oh my god! Who assassinated President Kennedy? Someone tell me in the chat, because that's going to... I should know that. This is from like 3 years ago. Oswald, Lee Harvey. Of course it was Lee Harvey Oswald. Thank you, BC and ABD. Breakpoint 70%. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Okay. 19% incorrect, no one abstained, 22 going for Kennedy, 4 going for Lincoln, 1 going for Garfield, no one for McKinley. We avoid the purge. And we lower the breakpoint to 60%. Next question. Options are French, Spanish, Portuguese, German. What word goes ahead of man o' war to give the name of a marine animal? Time. It's the Portuguese man o' war. Looks like a jellyfish. Isn't a jellyfish. How many were wrong? Start the meter. $23 going for the correct answer. 2 for Spanish, 2 for French, no one for German. 85%, well under that breakpoint of 60%. We go on. Breakpoint lowered, back to where it started, 50%. Next question. Options are pig, horse, dog, cat, cow. In Animal Farm, what type of animal is Bluebell? Time. Told you Animal Farm would come up later on. Bluebell was the dog, Moses the tame raven, Boxer the horse, Napoleon and Snowball the pigs. Can't remember the name of the cat, and I don't believe there were any cows in Animal Farm. All these things circle around, they do indeed. The answer was dog. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Halfway there. A lot. Oh, a tricky question. Had a left winger with 5 options, no less, because I can do that now. 93% of you were wrong on that. 14 going for cow. There weren't any cows in Animal Farm, I don't think. Certainly not by name. 4 going for cat, 4 for horse, 3 for pig, which means 2 players are absolved from this purge, but everyone else gets to go in it. Brace yourself for the potato thumping round a barrel noise as we reveal who is in the next purge. Ah, now there's something I can fix. You will notice on the left hand side of your screen there is a weird sort of mesh right on the left in the middle. That is to do with the scrolling text animation for Purge triggered. The reason that is coming up is because I'm now in 16:9 mode, and for some reason I put it in free aspect when developing it. That will reappear next time we trigger a purge because it doesn't clear the mesh. Somebody please note that, because I need to fix that. But for now I will manually do it. It looks like Kusani and BC. Oh, the appropriate BCs out of this one. But everyone else is in the purge. AB Me, Retro F, OM Dalton, Nando, Aruni Spectre, Mr. Vertigo, Potato, and an actual potato, Popper, Otley, Dragon, Derp, Ralph, Shapes, Mantissa, Chocobo, Puzzle Dan, Clive, Opsy, Cola, Kegler Coach, Velvet Thunder, Kamikaze, Natamol, Player 2, and Silver Electron are all in this purge. Full answer required. Everyone answer. Good luck. 20 seconds. Here is the third Purge question. Who wrote and published the novella The Metamorphosis? Time. Correct answer. Franz Kafka, famous for his dick. There you go, clip that. Who was wrong? Really, Ben from Oni? Some author I don't know the name of, Nabokov. Oh, that's close, Natter, close. Oh, I don't know if I can allow that. I'll think about that. Matt going for metamorphing into Purge material. Yeah, quite. I got a debug as well. You know, that's a bit difficult to read. But Jeff, some guy named Steve, no answer, and Shakespeare. Kaufer, Kafka. I'm going to say, on this time, Natter, I'm afraid I can't allow it. It's not quite close enough. Not quite close enough. I'm afraid. 4, AB me, ref, an actual... Who is an actual potato? I must find you before we finish. It's Oni, of course it's Oni. An actual potato, Popper, Otley, Puzzle Down, Clive, Kamikaze, and Natter. It's the wrong answer at the wrong time, and I'm afraid you have been purged. We reset the breakpoint to 80%. I don't know how many of you are left because I don't have a little bar to tell me, but if you're still there on the screen, you're still in the game. We go on to the next question. Options are Ace, Queen, King, Jack. What was the name of the 7th Doctor's assistant from 1987 to 1989 in the TV show Doctor Who? Time. Correct answer was Ace. The Doctor Who question breakpoint's quite high. Can you avoid it? Start the meter. Yes, you can. 39% getting it wrong. No abstentions there. 11 going for the correct answer race. 1 for Queen. 6 for Jack. I thought that might be the obvious red herring there, but 33% going for that. But you've avoided a purge. We lower the breakpoint to 70%, and we go on to the next question. Options are hearts, spades, clubs, diamonds. Yes, this was deliberate. Which is the only king in the standard deck of playing cards to not carry a sword. Time. It's the king of diamonds. Ooh, hello. Got a deck right here. King of hearts famously is impaling himself on his own sword, he says with confidence, from a question he wrote 3 years ago. And it's the king of hearts. Where's the camera? There it is. Impaling himself on his own sword. And I will find the king of clubs with his sword. And the... This is mainly for my benefit because I want to check the questions good. There's the king of spades with his sword. And the king of diamonds, making the peace symbols, does not have a sword. King of diamonds was the answer. How many were wrong? Start the meter. That's your card, is it, Ollie? Ah, one without a mustache. We've gone to the second half of the loop and we're still climbing. I'm afraid only one player got it right. 6% going for diamonds, 4 for clubs, 1 for spades, 11 went for hearts. No, hearts does carry a sword, but he impales himself on it. So I'm afraid we're going into another purge. Everyone but one player. Very well played there, Fett. No, Derp Derg. Whoever Derp Derg is, You've avoided this purge. Everyone else is in it. Full answer required. Dirk answer all the same because it's still worth pennies for you. Good luck. Here is the purge question. In which US state is Yale University? Time. Correct answer. Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut is where Yale is. No yelling out the answer in chat, please. Who was wrong? Rooney Spectre, Mr. Vertigo, Mantissa, Chocobo, BC, Colo, Player 2, and Silver Electron going for New York, Massachusetts, I assume. Mantissa has also said Massachusetts, but it's made it really very small. California, New Jersey, California, Massachusetts, and New York. Massachusetts famous for MIT, I guess, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, but not Yale. If you've gone blue, very well done. You're back into the game. For everyone else, I'm afraid it's the wrong answer at the wrong time, and you have been purged. Just checking I didn't miss anything obvious. Breakpoint is reset to 90%, which I think means we have only got one more purge question available. Incidentally, I will add at this point, if you're going to give suggestions on the questions themselves, this is a little bit of a test with random numbers of questions, random options of questions. The gradient is probably, I put it together, I earmarked the questions before I went out, at like when I posted my first message at 12:30, and then I put them together at 7:30 in 20 minutes after dinner. So the gradient may not be quite right. So that's something for not for feedback on now necessarily, because that question writers will take more time over curating their questions. So, next question. Options are Rachmaninoff, Shostakovich, Prokofiev, Tchaikovsky. Which of these Russian composers famously died on the same day as Joseph Stalin? Time. Correct answer. Shame on you if you put Tchaikovsky.
Shame.
It's never Tchaikovsky. Prokofiev, 1953, same day, and he got a massive composer in Soviet Russia, and he got an obit on like page 67 of the newspapers. How many were wrong? Start the meter. It's always Prokofiev here. It's normally Prokofiev. It's a Russian composer question, Odie. It's never Tchaikovsky, but it's normally Prokofiev. You've avoided a purge. 70% of you are wrong. It's normally Prokofiev if it's about history. If it's about the music, odds are it's about Rachmaninoff or Prokofiev. No one going for Shostakovich, 2 for Rachmaninoff. Half of you going for Tchaikovsky, and no abstentions there, which means we have got exactly 10 players left in. 5, 3, and 2 gives us 10, which gives us nice round numbers. 70% were wrong. We avoid a purge, and we go on, lowering the breakpoint to 80%. We're not at the final purge yet. Next question. Options are Puss. Oh, fuck. Answer number 3, Boots. Answer number 4, nickname for a cat. This is one of my test questions which has snuck through. Have a free one. Fuck's sake. Okay, so when I was knocking the build together, I had to redo the question model. And so when I'm doing JSON, I just throw stuff at the page. And this is one of my test questions. And I just did the first 5 because I was doing them all in order. Oh shit, have I just opened that? Fuck. Oh no, I haven't. And then for the subsequent increase of options, I just added answer number 3 and answer number 4. And for this one, I apparently appear to have missed it out. So I'm just going to go and take a look at the rest of the JSON to make sure that is the only one that has snuck through. Yes, it is. This is the only one that has stuck through. So there's a free one for you. The correct answer is puss. Just to give some context to that. I wonder if anyone was wrong. Start the meter. Yes, at least one player was wrong. At least 2 players were wrong. Okay, 1 going for boots, 1 abstaining, and 8 going for puss. But we have survived that question, and we go on to the next one. Breakpoint lowered to 70%. I'm going to override it. It's a test game, Cassini. It didn't trigger a purge, so all is well. Ah, I thought you were the abstention then, right. It was a valid question. Here's another one, which should be a real one. Options up. Warren G. Harding. Woodrow Wilson. William Howard Taft. Who was the sitting US president during the First World War? Time. Correct answer. Woodrow Wilson. I did have some notes on him, but I've since forgotten them. How many were wrong? Start the meter. Four of you. You've avoided a purge. 6 going for Woodrow Wilson, 3 for Warren G. Harding, and 1 for William Howard Taft. See? When it's 40% and a purge is avoided, it lights up the 4th line on the purge meter. But otherwise, when a purge is triggered, it doesn't. Weird bug. I need to look into that. You survived that purge. Ooh! And it's time for the final purge, which means we've got through 16 questions. We don't see that 5th purge question, and we have still got more than Natter joining and apparently making your name appear. That's a bug I should fix. Someone note that down. Players joining late or refreshing their account makes the name appear. I think that only happens in the final. Possibly, not in the final yet. 6 of you are going to go through to the final because I've got 5 final questions, and so we'll order you by most number of correct answers out of all the questions that have been displayed, and if we have a tie, we will go to that tiebreaker that we answered right at the beginning. If you're in the final, you'll stay blue. If not, you'll go red. And there we have it. And let's just check that my metrics are working, because it doesn't debug this for me, so I'm going to have to do this manually. Nando on 17. Lupine, Ralph on 17. Shapes on 18. OM Dillon. Is it OM Dillon? OM Dalton, I beg your pardon, on 14. And Dragon on 13. We have got some other players on 13. Dirk, Velvet Thunder, both on 13, but further away than Dragon. You can see Dragon tiebreak 6632. Dirk slightly further away, and Velvet Thunder slightly further out than that. And Cassini and Kegler had fewer questions answered correctly. So, unfortunately, Cassini, and note to self, and possibly if someone wants to note this down, Debug, who has been purged going into final. Cassini, Velvet Thunder, Kegler, and Dirk, thank you very much for playing, but you are about to be purged. Do keep answering in the final because pennies are still available. For now, I'm afraid you have been purged, and everyone else, time for the purge final. I said I wasn't going to read feedback during the game. So I switched to the admin chat so as not to look at suggestions. And Kolo's doing his feedback in there. I'm not going to look at it. Keep writing, Kolo. I'm not going to look at it. So, Purge final time. Exactly the same format as before, but just making it a little bit more streamlined. And we can have up to 10 players in the final, depending how many final questions are given to me by the writer. Conventionally, we have 4 Purge final questions. Switch to the meme channel. Switch to the meme channel. Conventionally, we have 5 finalists and 4 questions. I've done 5 questions because I wanted to test out this setup, because these are instantiated in real time rather than being a fixed amount. Because remember, previously, if we had 3 players in the final, it still showed 5 podiums. Now it will only instantiate however many we've got. Shapes, Ralph, Nando, Dalton, Dragon, and Opsy, you are our finalists. The rules are the same as before. Let me just explain them briefly to you. You will be shown half a question. Based on that half a question, you have to choose whether to play or pass. If you play and get it right, you can choose someone else to eliminate. If you pass, and the person you pass to gets it wrong, they are eliminated. If you play and get it wrong, or you pass and they get it right, then you are eliminated. You are only shown half a question before you have to make that decision. Those are the rules. We keep going until we've only got one player left. Shapes, as the player in the lead, would you like to play first or last? You have got a timer on your app, Shapes, but it is a soft timer. It won't do anything when it runs out. Shapes is going to play first. This is a great thing because it means I don't have to fiddle around in the inspector with assigning who's playing what. You can just choose who you're passing to. I will give you a note here. Because we've got 6, there'll be a layout, and particularly for you, Shapes, because you are on first. 5 be a row of... it would be a row of 2, 3, I think it's Otley. I think 3 is the maximum for a single row. After that, it spreads it over 2 rows. Shapes, I will urge you to look at your options carefully, because there is there will be a time limit on your app, but it's a soft time limit. You don't nothing happens if it runs out. But this applies to everyone. Look at the options carefully, because play, I think, will always be in the first option that comes up. Everything else, it may be in a different order from how the players are on the screen. So if you're wanting to pass to someone, you will press pass to name of player. You just press that button and it will pass it automatically, but it won't necessarily be the same layout. So just so you are forewarned, that is just a quirk of the app, because it doesn't know how many players are going to be in the final and everyone's in a different place. So it would be too much management to make that work for every player. So Shapes, based on half a question, decide whether you would like to play or pass. It's a soft timer. It won't time out if you run out, but do get your answer in as quick as you are able. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Play or pass? Dalton, this question has been passed to you. I love how it automatically selects you. I'm very happy with that. Dalton, you're going to get that question in full. 20 seconds to get an answer in. If you are right, Shapes is eliminated. If you are wrong, you are eliminated. Everyone else who was in the Purge final, answer anyway, because it's worth pennies. And everyone else who was eliminated previously, answer anyway. Good luck. Dalton, that question in full. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in 1756, the son of which other Mozart? 10 seconds. Dalton's locked in, a couple of seconds left. And there's time. Notably, when the player in the final locks in, it doesn't cut them out. It doesn't stop the timer because everyone else is still playing. That's a change from before because everyone else is still playing. So that 20 seconds will run in its fullest. Correct answer was Leopold. Dalton, you said Leopold Mozart. That is the right answer. You've gone green, and Shapes, you've gone red. He's gotten a right answer, and Shapes, you have been purged. My grayscale shader works, which is nice to actually show it off. Shapes has gone grey and is out of the game. And we go in order of as you were for points. So in reading order, we go to Ralph next. Based on half a question, decide whether you'd like to play or pass. Bear in mind the order on your app may not be the same as the order on the screen. Half a question, Ralph. According to Greek history, the story of the sword. Dalton, you've had it passed to you again. Yes, you must answer again. Ferbster, welcome to the stream. Great to have you with us. Sorry if you've been here a while, but I've only just seen that. Dalton, you've got to answer another question. Everyone else, answer the question as well. 20 seconds. Dalton, here's that question in full. Good luck. According to Greek history, the story of the Sword of Damocles arose when the courtier Damocles was granted the opportunity to switch places with which king for one day. 10 seconds. Answer coming in. Correct answer, and what did Dalton say? It's Dionysius II, and Dalton, you did say Dionysius, or Dionysus. Dionysius is the answer. It's got through the spell checker. I would accept Dionysus over Dionysius. And Ralph, you've gone red. It was a bad pass, and I'm afraid you have been purged. Nando, you're up next. There's a grayscale wave coming to you. Based on half a question. Are you going to play or pass? What name does Bridget Jones? Passing to Dragon. Again, Nando, not wanting to play this question themselves, has passed it to Dragon. Dragon, this question in full for you. Everyone answer all the same, still worth pennies. Good luck. Here's the question in full. What name does Bridget Jones give to her baby in the third film of the series? Dragon locking in. Time. Correct answer was William. Dragon going for nope. It's a good pass from Nando. And I can say nobody in the chat got that one. No one in the audience game got that one right. It was a sea of red and an orange for Dragon, just so it draws my eye. Dragon, it's a wrong answer, and I'm afraid you have been purged. We move on. Dalton, you've played 2 already. Now you get a choice of whether you want to play one yourself or if you want to pass to Nando or Opsy. Opsy sitting very quietly at the moment. Here's half a question, Dalton. Principally known for his contributions to the design of alternating current. Play or pass? Dalton's going to take it himself. Here's that question in full. Good luck. Principally known for his contributions to the design of alternating current, Nikola Tesla was born in which modern-day country? Need an answer. And that's time. You've got through 2 that will pass to you. Have you gotten through your own? The correct answer and what you said? It's Croatia, not Russia. Russia is the wrong answer, I'm afraid. Dalton, you had a good run, but unfortunately, you have been purged. So, Opsy, that's the final question of the night. Half question, play or pass to Nando. Good luck. With a total area of 2.7 million square kilometers, play or pass? Nando, it's all yours. Opsy's passed it. He's going to play the Luigi Strat for the new software. Could it be a Luigi Strat Victor with 6 in the final? Good luck, Nando. That question in full. With a total area of 2.7 million square kilometers, what is the largest landlocked country in the world? Nando locking in, and quickly. Time. I can tell you that Opsy didn't give an answer to that question. The correct answer was Kazakhstan, and that's exactly what you've said, Nando. Opsy, it was a bad pass at the end because Nando knew the answer, and I'm afraid you have been purged. Which means after 5 final questions, there is 1 player left standing. Very many congratulations to Nando. You have survived the purge. It didn't crash, and I didn't look at suggestions. Whew. I've glanced at the corner of my eye at what Kolo said. He says he misses seeing the purgeometer. I haven't read the rest of the context. I don't know if that's going to be a prevailing mood among everyone else. I will read the suggestions later on. Oh, that is about 80% of my spare time for the last 2 weeks. Well, we got through it. Hands are shaking after that. Good! I succeeded in my task then. Oh, good. It's supposed to be a bit intense. Nando, very, very well done. You have survived the purge. I can tell you that we got through all of the main game questions. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to open VS. Bollocks. Bollocks. And Matt the Ref gifting a sub to OM Dalton. That's 202 subs now, Matt. But OM Dalton, welcome to the fam. Enjoy ad-free viewing for the next month. Matt, thank you for your generosity. We got through all of the final game questions, because that's how the game now works, unless we have fewer than necessary going into the final. We got through all of the main game. There was just one purge question that we didn't do. That was pretty close to a perfect pack. Just saying. How did everyone else get on? What did a leaderboard? Look at that. Those numbers are Q's correct / purges survived. So the number on the right, it counts each final episode as a purge. So Nando obviously survived the most. Purges there 10, Opsy surviving 9, Dalton surviving 8, Dragon surviving 7, and Ralph surviving 6, and Shape surviving 5. That just means the players who are in the final are at the top of the leaderboard. It was an easier metric as any. After that, it is organised by how many purges you survived, then how many questions you got right. So hopefully that's quite fun and relatively intuitive. It's not my favourite leaderboard. That's still bidding war. Yeah, you can see there. And hopefully it's now told you on your apps how many pennies you're getting for the game. Has it told you yet? I think it has told you. I think it told you when Nando won. So you should have a readout of however many pennies you're going to get. Excellent. Good. They will be credited when the credits roll. So if you do ! pennies now, it won't have updated them. It won't have updated them yet. You have to wait till the credits roll until it adds them to the bank, and then I press refresh app, which will happen in just a minute. But yeah, those are the final scores. How many purges you survived? How many questions you got right out of 15 plus 5 plus 5, 25, I think, questions plus a tiebreaker. So yeah, 19. It looks like Shape's got the most questions right, actually. 19. Pretty good going there. Oh, good. I did put the whoosh sound effect on there. So, I'll come back to the cam in just a minute, and I'll look at your feedback. And I would any that catch my eye, I will address immediately. Of course, I will address all feedback and merge it into the game before we play the first proper game of the Purge, which is going to be written by Quizzle on November 11th in a few weeks' time. There may be another trial game if I feel there's enough feedback to warrant doing another trial game, if there are enough changes to justify having a second trial. But no major bugs as far as I could tell, other than that one with the Purge triggering at 40%, which I think is a rounding error, and the floor Purge meter glitch strap thing, which I'd already clocked. So we'll roll the credits. Hopefully they'll work. It'll credit your pennies, and I will come and talk to you on the cam in just a minute. Thank you for playing. I hope you enjoyed the questions, and Nando, congratulations. You have survived the Purge. They might be the cleanest credits I've ever done I spent about half an hour with Megs when she got back from the gym this morning, matching all of the sinks of the chevrons up with the music, which is such a pain in the ass job to do because you can't. With programming, you can often fast track it by changing timescale and stuff, but that you've just got to sit and listen and watch. I think it's a nice touch in the credits, and the white on black, it just makes everything dead clean. Right. Let's stop the build. App's been refreshed. Have some Purge pennies. Let's make it a random number. 234. Nice. Let's move that into the use folder. Let's close the build. And let's turn the lights back on because it's like dark. There we go. I suppose it's good for the Purge. Right. I might do some bonus game at the end. Okay. Suggestions. I'm going to get some wine. I feel like I might need wine. Silver Electron, thank you for the follow. More Purge music. I'm going to get some more wine before I look at your feedback, and I will address any immediate feedback. There might not be a lot. I genuinely don't know how much is in there. But I'm going to get some more wine to deal with it. Thank you. I really appreciate everyone sticking around to play. I know it's getting late. I'm going to get some wine, and I will be back in about 30 seconds. Okay, what did I miss? Might leave the music on. We'll do a game at the end of the night, just for fun. Let me stop that bonus. Okay. 30. Okay, that's not bad. Something layer, something named through instructions. Coders clock that. Positive skate. I like the clock. I like the things with tiebreaker come up on screen. Yes, I think that works. Fade out too much. That's interesting. I thought I could read it at my end, but I appreciate in real time it's not the same as on stream, so I will make the wrong answers a bit brighter. Topper. Loving the looking. Not the biggest fan of wrong answers turning red instead of just staying blue. I think there is a precedent for that. I do it in a couple of others. I did do it in the last game. It didn't change the background, but I think it changed the text colour. But as Topper's mentioned, I will dilute that. Question text is too close to the answer boxes. You can see the... Oh, yes, I've already clocked that. I will do that. On the left, yes, I've put a screenshot. Yes, the final is triggered. Yeah, Clive, I'm not opposed to lights. Thank you for providing a screenshot. I was already unsure. I liked it just because I've done the animation of the light boxes. But I think you're right. I've got it for the audience game. I think it's too much. I think the thing I was clinging to is that the main thing people are going to look at is the meter, which is the main thing, the thermometer in the middle counting up. But I appreciate it is difficult to read, whereas before it was very, very clear. And it used to be in the overlay that the percentage you got it wrong. Not opposed to the numbers not being there when the purgeometer is doing its thing and then appearing afterwards. Okay, cool. We find out the purge result should get the 4-note sting music to reveal it. Probably better to do this when revealing the correct answer. We find out the purge result should get the 4-note sting music to reveal it. We do. Bum, 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 wow, wow, bum. I'm not quite sure I follow you, Mr. Vertigo. I'll read it again in the morning. First player should be tilted back, great knowledge style. I'm not going to do that. Serious suggestion from Clive. Purge player should be tilted back. No, I'm not going to do that, Clive. No. First minute, it feels like it's a long way in the distance looking at the screen count. Yeah. That was something that did occur to me, is that before it took up a big chunk of the screen. Okay, so because I've got 3 ways of showing the purge meter. I've got the thermometer itself, I've got the wrong percentage, and I've got the floor sort of hourglassy thing. I don't necessarily need all 3, but to show all 3, I need to be that far back. A way around that could be to come and do it at a straight-on angle, which would then lose the floor percentage and the floor bars, and then have an overlay come in with the counter on a UI element. I do appreciate it's different, and it is. I don't know that it's difficult to see. I think it's still quite clear, but I appreciate it is definitely smaller. Speech bubble active when checking their purge answers. Zoomed in text box. Topper, while hovering over players who have a speech bubble active when checking their purge answer, can you do a zoomed in text box similar to bidding war? The logic behind the purge is that it's always like no one knows what you've said. The only time it is revealed what you have said is when it's contentious on you staying in the game. Otherwise, it's anonymous. That was one of the big pulls of the game for people who are maybe get a bit anxious around quizzing and how well they're doing. You don't know how any individual is doing until the end game. I think the long and short of it is there's a good argument to make if it's being popped up to be seen on screen, it should be able to be seen on screen. But at the same time, I have got it in the console what people said. There is a temptation to do away with the speech bubbles altogether in that it is not important what people have said. All that we know is that they were wrong on that question. I will ruminate on that because I think you're right. We either need a larger pop-up box so that everyone can see their answers, or we need to do away with the answer box on Purge eliminations altogether. Klaxon to mark the end of the game. Like that a lot, Arum, because especially with no question numbers, I think that's really important to signify we've got the end of the game. We've got the whoosh, and I will alert it, but I think a sound effect would be really good. And it's Sotley said the same thing. Great minds think alike. You've been watching In It to Win It. No. The one from Accuse Someone on the Bowl. I don't know if that would work, but I'll give it a go. Numbers are quite small and difficult to read. Should they just save this number of questions correct? Maybe toggle a switch? Maybe. They are small and difficult to read. Again, I go with the logic. It is just there as a sort of, as long as I know what it is, because it is all debugged to me. Although the tiebreakers aren't debugged to me in the console. It wouldn't be a massive effort to put the tiebreaker thing on, but then I feel it's more clicking, because if you see like 5 people have got 13 and 2 of them are eliminated and 3 of them aren't, you've got to go on all 5 to click them to change over. I could have a toggle button on the Stream Deck to switch between the two. We'll think about it, Topper. Are we using the Purge questions as part of the Metro? How many correct answers determine who make the final? No, the number of Purge... So there's 3 factors that trigger the final. All of the main game questions are exhausted. All of the Purge questions are exhausted. Or the number of remaining players is equal to or less than the number of final questions plus 1, because of how the logic works. If any of those criteria are met, we go to the final. So if someone provides me a pack that has got 10 Purge questions... 10 final questions, we will have 11 finalists. And it will look garbage because I've only... that's not what I really... Okay, explain to me again then, Topper. The Purge questions count for the correct answers for qualification. Oh, yes, they do. Every question. Now, this was something that occurred to me. Should... Yes, Topper. Now, should Purge questions be weighted heavier? This is I haven't written this on the Trello board, but it's something that occurred to me. Should Purge questions be weighted for like 2 or for 5? Or should they be all treated the same? Because I appreciate multiple choice questions are arguably easier to get a right answer, or at least fluke an answer to. So yes, they are all weighted the same. But because everybody gets all the questions, you should be weighted 0. Why? Why do you say that? Because everyone gets an opportunity to answer them. It's not as though only players in the Purge get that weighting. Everyone gets to answer all of the questions. So if you're not in the Purge and you answer a Purge question correctly, that is still one more correct answer. Nando had 17 right, but there's a max of 16 Purge. Which you shouldn't count. No, because Purge questions do count. That is my... Because it's an even board, even if you're eliminated, or even if you're not in the Purge, you still get to answer the question. If anything, Purge questions, I feel, should be weighted more heavily. Because you've also got to bear in mind, I'm factoring in the penny bank, and the idea is to reward people for correct answers on a larger scale, and not counting them to... And that's how the penny bank is calculated for this. It's to do with number of correct answers. So if you don't count Purge questions as correct... I mean, I could split them and then add them for pennies, but not for contributions to the game. But I see no reason not to include Purge questions, because those not in the Purge still get to answer and have it weighted towards them. Final couple of weeks ago, the low score, that was of course now impossible within this game, so I don't think Purge should have more weight. Okay. I think I disagree with you, Oren. People who want the Purge don't have the possibility of getting an answer condoned, though. That is a good point, ABME. People who aren't in the Purge can't have their answer condoned. And there was only, I think, one instance tonight, and I think it was... Who was it? Someone up in the top right. I can't remember what the question was exactly, but yes, I did condone one, which I wouldn't have been able to do for someone not in the Purge. Very, very good point. Let me ruminate on that. That's a really good point. The lack of being able to condone it, and likewise, if they're eliminated, they're not in the final anyway. Yeah, and in the previous game, if you avoided a Purge... I mean, remember in the previous game that the lobby game was very much a tacked-on thing. It wasn't in the original thing. It was sort of bolted on after the fact, with then there was no final and the Purge questions didn't count. And the thing to bear in mind is that I've got to... From a streamer point of view, just if you forgive me just for a minute, I've got to try and keep as many people who are here for quiz engaged for as long as possible. So I think maybe an ideal scenario is that those questions count for pennies, but not to the direct game, which is very doable. I just have to split out the iteration of correct answers. But I think giving everyone a chance to answer every question should be fundamental to what's going on. Yeah, I think you're right, BC. Keep them for pennies, but maybe not for the game. I will think about that one. But ABME raises a very, very valid point that if I can't condone people who aren't in the Purge, and it's not caught by the spell checker for whatever reason, then they're then at a disadvantage going into the final, which is really, really important. So I think that could be the way forward. Everyone can answer every question, but the questions answered... Only the main game questions count towards the final contribution, but every question counts towards pennies. That feels like a good compromise. Yeah. Okay. Suggestion for multiple choice to time to be increased to 15 seconds. That's easily done. Looking at the options ping or stream. That's a valid point, Sportsy, because... Previously, the options appeared on stream and then the question appeared, and it was all done in Twitch chat. It was a bit different, but now everything appears at once in 10 seconds is probably a bit limiting. So I think you were right, 15 seconds would probably be a fairer time. There's no reason not to do that, because it's not supposed to be a massive speed game. Normally, those 10 seconds would be 10 seconds to read the question and answer, rather than read the options, read the answer and question. But the fact the options come up first is part of the game, but I think you're right, a small increase on the time wouldn't go amiss. Ardenfet's agreeing that the Purge meat feels a long way away. Top half of rarely gets used, most of the lower camera angle possibly rarely gets used, but I do need to consider when it is used. So something to think about there. Final lobby score, but you're built by Q's correct in my opinion. What was important to me was that whoever won was top of the leaderboard, even if not necessarily the others in the final weren't top of the leaderboard. That's easily changed. That's just a link statement. That took me 2 minutes, but I think that should be discussed and thought about. Colo agreeing 15 seconds. Love the colour changing walls with the base, but it may seem like a void instead of a studio. I will look at changing that as well as hotly. I don't like the secondary purge meter, the one on the floor that counts, and 10% increments really adds anything. Okay. Looks overall though very slick. Thank you, AVME, for the kind words. I think you might be right. In my head, the purge meter is there and it zooms in on where the top of the breakpoint is. I've not been able to implement that. I'm sure it's not beyond me, but I'd need to sit and think about it. That is my goal, where it zooms in on the purge meter, and when it hits or when it stops, it zooms out. That's sort of what I think I want to aim to get. Nando, brilliant update to the game with a few comments, notably the time it takes to pick an answer. Yeah, it was too fast. I'm glad you think it's an improvement. Thank you for the kind words, Nando. Not how I meant to set the purge look in my mind's eye, but I think it still looks very nice. Thank you, Arun. When the purge has been activated, if the multiple choice correct answer, the 4 notes thing could be used to reveal it. Oh, I think I see what you mean. Bam, 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 bam. Something like that. It doesn't help with the jazz in my ears. When the purge has been activated, revealing the non-multiple choice correct answer, the 4 notes thing. The thing is, the correct answer is revealed before we go to the meter, and that's always been the concept of the game, unless you mean revealing how many people said what. I'll read that again in the morning. We might need to have a chat about that, Mr. Vertigo, because I'm still not quite sure I'm there. Millionaire klaxon, but a lower pitch. A run, I think we've addressed that question. For the purge question answers not to count towards the direct game, but do count for it. Yeah, I think we said. Real quick for me to scroll to the end and just read what Colo said there. Count questions played in the final pitch 2 years before the final. Yeah. Okay. I've got to the end of the suggestions, and all of it, bar one where we had a conversation, then ABME said something that slightly changed my mind, I've agreed with. It's all very fair, and I feel it's really bad that I need to caveat feedback, so I should just be thicker skinned and just be able to take it. But I think I'm a bit precious about games that have been around a lot longer. Thank you, everybody, for contributing feedback. I do appreciate it, even if I don't always seem like I do. I think it worked quite well with the new software. Interested on thoughts on the app, whether you thought that worked for it, because it's a game that's got a combination of multiple choice and typing. So interesting to see, and also integer typing. So I'm hoping that worked well. I'm loading up an endgame. We're going to play Spacey 4 game. Lovely as ever. Good to hear, Abimi. Thank you. My desktop web-based app worked just fine. No issues. Amazing. Thank you, Ardenvets. I know you had some JavaScript crashy things before. Yeah, as test runs go, Colo, I think it was quite smooth. One of the smoother ones I've done. Right. Let's pause that for just a moment. Go back to here. We haven't started yet. Don't type anything. I need to press the magic button. Yeah, 50 points per 50. I haven't said points per player, but it means pennies per player. Wait for it. There you go. Spacey 4 game to wrap up the night. I'm going to get in on this. I want some pennies. Some of those sweet, sweet pennies. Left or right. And we'll have 50 pennies for every player who joins the game. And we'll keep going until there's only one left. Or we'll roll over. I'm genuinely very grateful to everyone who's come out. I hope the questions were fine. They were older questions of mine. But it was close to a perfect Purge pack, I have to say. 16 was with one too many Purge questions, but hello Tom 1642, welcome to the stream. In to get some pennies, unless left drops, in which case you might be quite sad. We're up to 1,000. Oh, and left has dropped. What a shame. Oh, BC leaving it late there. 1,050 go to the winner, but welcome to the stream, Tom. We're just wrapping up. Left or right, 1,050 pennies. No more pennies being added at this point. And that's everyone. I need a button on. I need to do some work on this. Just make it generally better. Where the balls for the Purge game? Yeah, they fall into here. They fall into Spacey 4 game. Left dropping again. Right looks good. Sportsy, AB Me, Mantissa, Lewis, Ardenfetz, and Matt. You get to play on for 1,050 pennies. $30 seconds to make a decision. Right has been good so far. Is it going to swing back? 2 on each side. And we've split the room. 3 and 3. And right drops this time. Right to swing. It's Sportsy, Fetz, and Matt. 1,050 pennies available to one of you. Depending on this next choice. Matt straight in the right. It's Sportsy going right as well. Fetz has gone left. I am going to speed up the timer now. Oh, Fetch, you've dropped it. It's Sportsy and Matt. We're down to 2. Always very interesting metagaming when we get to this point of the night. 1,050 pennies. Who's going to go first? Who's going to break cover? It's Sportsy breaks cover and goes left. Matt, are you going to go for a potential rollover? No, we are splitting. We are going to have a winner. And it is going to be... It's Sportsy! Matt, bad luck! You've dropped... But it's Sportsy, you've just won 1,050 pennies. Great windfall. Good game. Oh, that was fun. Let's go again. Let's go again. Let's start with a boost because I can. Again. Yeah. £500 buffer at the front end. Just play this all night. I don't know why the compunction to play this game is so high at the moment, but... I love it. I'm not going to break out the Crystal Dome tonight. I'm not. But I am going to tell you what is going on with our fellow streamers the rest of the week. Our friend Ash the Bash is back next week? Next week! Let's give him a shout out. How do you do shout outs again? Like that! Go and follow Ash the Bash, twitch.tv/AT_bash, 8 PM on Wednesday and Friday evenings. He is back on this coming Wednesday. I'm going to wait for this to drop. 1,500. BC, you get in this time. 1,500 pennies to win a BC Mr. Vertigo, only Lewis, it's Sotley, Ardenfetz, it's Sportsy, me, Topper, to Diary Shapes, and Dragon. Battling out, I'm going to swing. Fancy swinging. Done. Where are we date-wise? It's the 13th, 14th, 13th. Something nth today. Untitled Grid Game and 1,000 Heartbeats with Ash next Wednesday, I think. Yes, that is Wednesday. He's not got the days on his stream schedule, just the dates. And Quiz Cubed with Mr. Vertigo on Friday, and nothing else. It might be a sort of a... one of those spontaneous ones. Oh, bollocks, I've dropped. BC, Mr. Vertigo, Lewis, it's Sotley, Ardenfetz, and Dragon go on to potentially win 1,500 pennies. So yes, Untitled Grid Game and 1,000 Heartbeats on Wednesday with Ash, Quiz Cubed, and possibly other things with Bash next Friday. Topper, our great friend Topper, was a great bastion of support to me this morning when everything was broken, and he took great delight in telling everyone how stressed I was. Thursday, the 19th of October, he's got Splash Attack, Revenge of the Egghead, and Elimination. That's on Thursday on Topper's channel, twitch.tv/Topper1 Gaming on Thursday at 8 PM. You know that's how I refer to you, Topper. Left drop, Mr. Vertigo, Lewis, it's Sotley, and Ardenfetz are through to the next round. That's what I call you, Topper. You are our great friend, Topper1 Gaming. He's our great friend and revels in how stressed I am. But that's on Thursday. Go and give him a follow. As for me, I am back next Saturday, 21st of October, with Crossfire for the first time this season, Cryptex for the first time this season, and Risky Business for the first time this season. Looking forward to those. Now, Crossfire is by Purge, I think. Yes. Cryptex is by Lupine. Left has dropped. Lewis and Ardenfetz go to the final round. And Risky Business by Arun. There might be a demo game of Red Herrings. It depends how much time I can find in the week, because I need to do one before the following week when Red Herrings is actually airing with one of my packs. I could just put it on cold, but it'd be good to do a demo stream of it first. So Crossfire, Cryptex and Risky Business by Prues, Lupine and Arun next Saturday, and possibly demo game of Red Herrings as well, depending how time falls for me. We have split the room. 1,500 pennies are going to Ardenfetz. 1,500 pennies going to you right now. Refresh app. GG. And I've done all the continuity and the music has stopped. So we'll stop there. We'll go back to Just Cam. And I will close the build. And I'm going to clear that 500 baseline, because that is not a thing that is going to be permanent. That's just me being spontaneous. So, yeah, Crossfire by Pruge, Cryptex by Lupine, Risky Business by Arun, maybe a Red Herrings retro pack next week with new software. It depends where I can find some time in my evenings this week and next Saturday. Purge took me 2 weeks. Red Herrings should be a shorter implementation because it's a simpler game, but there's also the picture round implementation, which would require changes to the client app. So I don't know. But definitely Crossfire, Cryptex and Risky Business next week. Saturday, the 21st of October, twitch.tv/royal_flush at 8 PM right here. I hope you'll join me for that. That's it. That's everything. That's all I've got for you tonight. There is no more quiz. All of the quiz is done. And it's been... Food Superpower, right. If you're still here for Food Superpower and you're 200 pennies... Oh, Christ, that was a big noise. It was... What? I don't know. What was it? Oh, it was my water bottle, I think. Yes, it was. Mrs. Flush! Food Superpowers. If you want to give me a Food Superpower in the chat. And Mrs. Flush, if you're still here, Mrs. Flush will pick her favourite. If not, then DM them to me, and we will. We have dropped off slightly on the audience, so I may get people to DM me. I'll put a ping in Discord and get people to DM, and Mrs. Flush can ruminate on it and pick one next time. But genuinely, thank you for all the feedback on the Purge. I was probably more anxious starting this game because I know it's a sort of the classic, apparently one of the big three, and Danger Zone is, if it's not had a refit from game to game, then it's a shame. But that, the Escape Artist and the Purge don't... Well, Danger Zone gets a lot of remakes, but the Purge hasn't, and the Purge actually held the title for game that has gone the longest without having a remake. So, slightly scary repurposing it somewhat. So thank you for your kind words and your insightful feedback, which I will directly respond to in the suggestions channel. I know I've gone through them in text chat now, but I'll directly respond to them as well, and implement any changes for next time. But yeah, I'm glad the feedback it looks like it's generally positive, with maybe a couple of tweaks to be made on the scoring side of things. Thank you very much to Mark and Colo for the Abyss packs, to BC for Data Leak, and to Lewis for proofing, to Colo for Battlefront, and I hope you've all had fun tonight. I'm going to look at the chat because it looks like some people are chatting. Chrono Blazer just in time for the end of the stream, and is there anyone to raid? Is the final question of the night. Oh, I'm looping. Messi. We're going to go raid Messi because he is interviewing Adam Goodrich, who does all the Gaia software. Gaia and which I've used a lot of in the past. If you've ever played one of my games based on terrain, that's Gaia working. And I know he's interviewing Adam tonight from Procedural Worlds. That is going to be worth your time if you've got a passing interest in Unity asset development. So we're going to go raid the Messi coder. And I will look back. Okay, what have we got? Amazing meal. I cost a ridiculous amount of money. Summon whatever I want, whenever I want for free. Embodying the ability of asparagus to make people's pee turn bright yellow. Able to spawn any type of cheese in your hand at any moment, but never the one you're actually thinking about. That is niche, Kasani. Click my fingers and the food to be cooked instantly. Nice. Flip a pound coin in the air and it lands heads. You serve the entire room a banquet. Burn off drunkenness immediately at will. I'd like that one. Baby, a wax part to be edible. I think that might be a raid message. Wax is edible. There we go. You got a raid message. State to any wellness state spontaneous, but at the time also said become well done. These are all very middle class superpowers, aren't they? Withstand hot oil and boiling water freely, but allergic to ice. I'm going. I will pass these back to Mrs. Fleisch. Set them in the discussion channel in the Discord, which you should totally come and join. Thank you once again, everybody, for coming to join me. I've had a great time tonight. It's been really good fun, and thank you for the positive feedback on the Purge. I will get back to you with the feedback next week. Crossfire and Cryptex and Risky Business and maybe red herrings in new software. We'll see where we're up to. Until then, you have been watching Game Night. I have been Royal Fleisch. Until next time, be splendid and wonderful and marvellous and safe as always. And I will see you back here really soon. Until then, take care. Peace out and good night.
It's like, whoa, okay. That's